Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas.
Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
Welcome back to the club, brought to you by Super 6. Huge guest today, Hugh Wizzy. How you doing, mate?
Very good.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me on. Cheers, lads. How are
Been
you
a long
doing?
time coming. A lot of people have been asking for the fraud father on the channel.
Yeah.
And here he is.
I'm not sure
Welcome.
I've ever seen, I've never ever in the history of the club seen hype like it.
It is nuts, isn't it? We could have had Cristiano Ronaldo on, and I don't think we get that much comments in the live chat.
No.
way.
You have the most dedicated. The
Yeah,
frauds.
love to everybody who's showing love. We're here. Popular demand, answering the call. It's nice
Yeah.
to be around some.
How have you
familiar
been, man?
faces.
You seen the bat signal go out. You
Yeah.
answered it. But how have you been? How you been keeping?
No,
You been keeping well?
There've been a few bat signals. I've not been able to respond to all of them, but yeah, I've been keeping well, keeping busy. I've got a lot of changes going on in my life. A couple of new faces and new places, or a new place which we've been decorating for a while. So I've had my hands full. I've turned into a builder.
One of the big
essentially.
changes has been Arsenal have become good.
Mate, it's been an unbelievable year. Wow. You know, when I started my YouTube channel, it was purely out of frustration, missing Arsenal, missing London, and obviously wanting us to replace Van Persie with someone better than Podolski or Giroud. And yeah, it's been like 7 or 8 years or longer of pain. So to actually be experiencing like a quality team that we're just really enjoying going to games, or just really enjoying watching and winning, it's amazing.
How are you
Yeah.
feeling about it overall, like this Arteta project? I think if you're being really snide, you could say still hasn't won anything apart from that first FA Cup, which some would almost say he inherited a team, he took them to the FA Cup final. I don't conform to that at all. I think he's done a remarkable job. Are you totally behind him? Are you impressed by what he's done?
Honestly, I think it would be foolish not to be fully behind him. And there are too many positives that have turned out of his decisions for me to not.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that. He's got the Midas touch with, you know, certain things that I've often thought was a wrong decision with regard to Arteta. For example, even like let's use the David Raya, Aaron Ramsdale as a case study, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was an error. I really did. I thought Aaron Ramsdale was an excellent goalkeeper. I thought he, particularly not necessarily last season, but the season before, I thought he was one of your best players, like real standout. They brought in David Raya. I think there was a debate as to be had whether he was even better than Aaron Ramsdale. Destabilised the back line. Jesus won the Golden Gloves, man.
He has, but I don't know how much weight I put on the Golden Glove. It's about the defence for me. It's about the midfield in front of him being locked up with Declan now. It's about, you know, he is more comfortable on the ball. He's definitely calmer. He's more assured. It's just, is he as good a shot stopper as Ramsdale? Does he save as many points as Ramsdale did? I don't think he does. I actually don't.
Do you think you earn more
But
though
do you think you got it
from the
right?
style of play he brings though?
He's more trustworthy, yeah. He's more comfortable. I'm more comfortable with him on the ball than I ever was with Ramsdale.
And he's become now part of that back line that you alluded to there. The two centre halves, maybe bring Declan Rice in front of them. And I think Ben White deserves a mention here.
For sure.
Do you know Nemanja Vidic did an article in the Times today? You seen it? He's full of praise
For Vidic?
Gabriel Vidic. Full of praise for Gabriel and Saliba. Like really says
Well,
that
they've been the best partner. I know they've had. You can argue they got Arsenal chucked out of the Champions League a little bit with the way they had a bit of a wobble in certain parts of that game. Probably is that
Gabriel,
is that unfair?
Yeah.
No, we had a couple of moments. We had a couple of moments. Yeah.
Even like when you think of the moment that didn't get punished, where he just handballs the ball, it's like it's a bit of a brain
But
fart. He had a few of them, didn't he?
They have been two of the most unbelievable signings. Honestly, the timing, again, like the Midas touch thing you're talking about, I really thought he got Saliba wrong by sending him back out to France.
That was clever, wasn't it?
It
It
looked
gave him another
like
year, another development.
genius.
Yeah. I think we often do that as fans, don't we? We suggest that players should be brought in as soon as possible. I think Pep Guardiola actually did something similar with Phil Foden. People were saying he needs to go out on loan or he needs to be playing. And Pep Guardiola said he needs to be doing neither. He needs to be training with David Silva, learning from Kevin De Bruyne, and ultimately when he gets his chance, he takes it.
Who do you have? Do you have Foden or Saka as your main man?
They both could
This
play in the
season.
same 11, but I think Foden's a better player.
Okay. Okay.
But I think you can put them in the same team if you're talking about England, for example.
Yeah, they both.
But if you're
start
saying
on
as a
the
Man
team.
United fan, if I could sign one of the two, I'll go Phil Foden all day long.
Yeah, they've got to both start for England.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I don't know if he'll find a way of doing it. That's his issue.
I think it's
I don't
really
think he
simple,
can.
though, Booth, isn't it? It's a really simple.
I don't know.
Well,
if we
Saka plays
face
for
Germany, I think he'll be worried about having Saka and Foden and Grealish. I think he'll drop
go
one
for
of
it.
them.
And what? He'll end
But
up
how
playing.
you can't drop Saka because he's the only option on the
Yeah,
right.
No, I
Can't be
think he's
Saka.
less
Saka
droppable than Foden because
Yeah.
Foden's got less of a defined position.
And
Yeah.
Foden has, in terms of Saka, you know, the drop off. Like, I rate Jared Bowen very highly. But in terms of who can play Saka's position,
Yeah.
the drop off is more significant than who can play
Unless
Foden's
it's Palmer,
position.
unless you view Palmer as a opposition, rival to Saka's
But you see,
position.
do you know where it's really
Even
improved
then, as a
Palmer?
natural winger,
It's not Palmer.
it's not Palmer.
No, definitely not.
Palmer's.
We need pace in that
Palmer
side.
being
Kane's
central.
got no pace. We've got no pace in the side except Saka.
Would you have? But he's not even paid. Like, would you? Do you think
He
we
can
need
burn
to?
people, can't he, on the outside?
I don't know,
You
really.
I don't see enough of it for Arsenal, in my opinion. I don't think he cuts in too much for me.
I think the
But when he
pace
does
is
go
Gordon
for
or
it, he's
Rashford.
got loads of pace.
Pace will have to. be
Rashford
Gordon.
doesn't make the plane.
Do you not think he goes?
He's got less goals than Mudryk this season,
He's injured at the moment as well.
and he's injured.
But I still think he. Look, the pace in the England front line, I believe, will be on that side. It will
Yeah.
be Gordon or Rashford.
Gordon,
or-
yeah, I think Gordon's a shout as well.
So he's not Grealish.
He's not pacey though.
No, I know he's not pacey,
No,
but then
we need
No,
pace.
if we're going to deploy some form of pace in the England starting three forwards, it can't. Kane has to start. He's not pacey. Saka has to start. Pace wouldn't be his primary attribute.
It's
The
one of
only
them.
op-
It's one of them. He's
It's
quick.
right up there.
He's rapid. He's
He's
strong.
rapid, yeah,
He's
yeah.
almost impossible to get off the ball.
I just wouldn't say that. I don't think there's enough threat with pace unless we go Rashford or Gordon.
Carl
if we go
Walker and
Grealish,
Saka.
I think the one flaw in that England front three would be just that ball over the top, that out ball, because I don't think anybody really runs a channel that penalty.
It looks like a penalty.
We've got, just so you know, by the way, we've got the West Brom Southampton game on. We're in the 94th minute. It's the first leg of the playoff semi-final, and the score is currently 0-0.
after
but-
Norwich and Leeds, that's outside the box.
It's a dive as well.
It's outside the box, if anything, as well. And there's
It's a
no.
good, clever nutmeg.
He's
Big-
made him.
Big
silly.
fan of the nutmeg.
It is a foul, you know. It's
I don't think
outside
it
the
is.
box.
Like a foul,
No, his knee
I
catches.
think it is a
him.
foul.
His knee catches him. Look,
Looking for it.
he drops, he slips, and his knee catches him. It's not a pen, but it's a foul. We are sponsored by Super 6. Remember, thank you to Super 6 for sponsoring us. And check this out. Every single week or every single round, because sometimes there's 2 rounds a week, you can win £250,000 by predicting 6 correct scores. And one player needs, we've got 2 players who need one result to go their way for them to win £250,000. One of them, crazily, has gone with a 3-2 United win. And one of them has gone with a 3-0 Arsenal win.
Who would you rather be out of those two scores? Who do you think's more likely to succeed?
Well, having seen the teams, Man United ain't winning this game.
No, it's a miracle if you win this game. Miracle.
What do you think? Have you seen a United team? You confident of a win? I said to you before we went live, if you don't win today and City somehow drop points between now and the end of the season,
Adam,
you'll be
man.
beating yourself up.
That is arguably the worst Manchester United team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's an outrageously haphazard shambles that's been thrown together with no planning.
I don't think there's any choice.
Way too
to
much
have that team at the
responsibility for
moment
some players.
due to
No, I hear that.
some of the injuries.
I hear that, but
when you
just
look
looking at it at face value, this is fucking outrageous.
No, it is,
French,
it is.
but Casemiro, legs gone, playing at centre back.
Head's gone.
Craziest.
Head's gone.
Craziest position for him to be right now. Evans, the fact that he's even in the squad, I find out it's just madness.
It's crazy.
Mm.
Even in the
Wan-Bissaka-
6-1. In the 6-1.
No, but it's like that's
Aguero's playing
that's
that game.
because we've got. If you look at the players that we've got out, you got Malacia out. Sure, that's 2 fullbacks.
Although the point would be that
Varane,
everyone's got-
Martinez, Lindelof,
everyone's got injuries.
Harry Maguire.
the-
There's
Spurs got a lot
4,
of injuries.
5, 6.
I guess
centre-backs
the point would be though that the squad should be built so that whatever happens, whatever the circumstance, Johnny Evans is never the option.
But
The lead
the
option.
circumstances aren't usually your Varane and Martinez who are your first choice out, and then your Maguire and Lindelof who are your second choices out.
But the player that
Luke
is
Shaw used
but
to
the,
play centre back. He's out.
but the player that is Johnny Evans, the position that Johnny Evans is taking up in the squad, I guess the argument would be that squad member should be better than Johnny Evans.
It could be Willy Kambala. Guess what? He's injured too, I think.
Mate, this is a problem.
there's so
as
many-
well.
well, he's on the bench, but he's just coming back from an injury.
It's Manchester United, man.
Mm.
Honestly.
That's
at
why I
some
think
stage,
you
at some
can't-
stage,
you can't
we've
really
got to
blame Ten Hag, can you?
take stock here and be like, do you know what? This is mad. There's obviously so much going on behind the scenes. You've got a whole bunch of things with the takeover taking too long. Like decisions being made that honestly look questionable now with Ten Hag. he's really wanted some players he's paid through the nose for, and they just look like they are part of the problem.
Well, a lot of them aren't available, and a lot of them part of the problem. When you look
does
at Anthony,
Malacia force his way into the starting 11 when everyone's fit?
But what Malacia did last season, which was pretty good, was he challenged Luke Shaw, and they both he brought competition out of Luke Shaw, and Luke Shaw looked like a much better player for it. But we haven't got either of them now. It's mad when your backup left back and your main left back's out. Your two main centre backs and your backup centre. We were talking about Golden Glove earlier. United won that because of our defence last year, not because of De Gea.
Yeah.
Because on all metrics, Onana's performing better than De Gea. So it's
do you know what as well? You know, when everything that you said there, it chimes with exactly how I'm looking at this Manchester United team. I've never seen anything like it. Conversely, you're looking at this Arsenal team now, and it's certainly the best Arsenal team for at least a decade.
Oh, let's talk about your ex-loves. Look, talk about the Midas touch again. Clinical Kai, yeah.
I mean, clinical. You're playing hard and
look,
you're playing a bit loose with the definition of clinical.
Hold on a second. He's absolutely a joy to watch for a start.
I mean,
I know you're probably going to have your own feelings.
I feel like
honestly,
it normalises mediocrity.
Every game.
I feel like I think you've normalised. I think mediocrity has been normalised so much.
He's very, very he's misunderstood. He's underestimated, underrated, and
what's his best position, mate? Is it false 9 like he's playing now?
Yeah. I think playing him out of position half the season, if anything, has actually been one of Arteta's mistakes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
What as a central midfielder?
He's genuinely transformative for the team. Like, he wins everything in the air. He is a real little shithousery specialist.
He has got an edge. I do agree that he's got that snide approach, but I feel like he should.
Guy,
when you say he wins everything in the air, does he score enough headers if he's winning everything?
No, some crucial headers this season.
He scored some crucial goals. Full stop.
Yeah.
And look, I get it. Yes, there was a period of time where it was looking like, what's going on here? Pity penalties, and we're struggling to find out where he really belongs. But actually, he is growing.
For the first half of the season, it was incredibly underwhelming, wasn't it?
Yeah, frighteningly so. Yeah, I have to be honest. But last year, I said a lot of things about this guy.
Yeah,
I thought he's one of the sort of most disappointing, promising players that had ever come to the league.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah,
he's got an unbelievable legacy-defining moment in his locker. He's got an unbelievable trophy haul, but actually, he is incredibly versatile, incredibly intelligent. He's worked really hard. He's settled in and been given a home like we've given to Odegaard, where he was clearly lacking that.
Yeah,
Chelsea were a mess, and we are the opposite of that right now. We are an organised structure which everyone wants to be a part of.
Do you know what though? You touched on it there. You know, off the back of that moment, you know, scoring that goal to take Chelsea to a Champions League, doing that to Man City in Portugal, what I really dreamed would happen was he would use that moment as a springboard to launch himself into the league the following season, to announce himself as one of the best players in the league. Because I agree that the talent is there. It was just always a false dawn.
One of his problems with him,
always nearly. It was always a good moment, followed by 6. You know, he'll score for 3 games in a row, and then he won't score for 6 games in a row.
But is that partly because of the mess that Chelsea were in? Was he not your top scorer?
No, but I mean, we were a mess. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I know that smoke and mirror certainly exists with regards to football, and certainly at Chelsea Football Club. But as much as you're saying it was a mess, we were both the champions of Europe and the champions of the world. So there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on behind the scenes, of course. But the bottom line is we were the champions of Europe, and he still didn't really have a position. It was just so inconsistent.
That's okay. We've given him one. We love him.
Which is a false 9.
Do you not think, though, at Chelsea, because you kind of alluded to it there, because of the setup at Chelsea, because of the structure at the club, because of the chopping and changing of managers, with Kai Havertz, who's a player that kind of needs a little bit of an arm around him, a little bit of tough love sometimes, and kind of feeling part of something. And I don't think he ever felt that at Chelsea for whatever reasons, chopping and changing the managers. He scores in the Champions League. The fans don't really take to him. It must be difficult to then perform every single week.
What I think helped him at Arsenal is the other performers, you know, the standout players, so that he isn't actually...
The pressure's not all on him.
Yeah, at Chelsea we were relying on him. You've got to remember, he played in a side with probably the most profligate player I've ever seen play football in Timo Werner. So we were relying on Kai Havertz to do it. He was actually our linchpin. He was the guy. Whereas at Arsenal, I feel like I don't think Arsenal fans need to pin their hopes on him. I think Leandro Trossard is far more likely.
He's part of the puzzle.
He's part of it rather than the solution, which suits him.
And that's where we are now as a club. Yeah. We have got to add in the little cherries on top.
Yeah.
And he's one of them.
So with this is interesting though. You know, in the summer, sorry, in the winter, in fact, in the winter transfer window, a lot of conversation was happening, suggesting. Look, I think this was a fairly common school of thought. It doesn't matter whether it's Tony or not. I'm going to use Tony as the example, but Arsenal need to sign Tony to win the league. People were saying that Arsenal need that centre forward, that guaranteed goal scorer. Do you believe that Kai Havertz as a false 9 means that you now don't
need a goal scorer? No, I don't personally.
You still need a goal scorer.
I don't think it's Tony though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But you
it's
still
Tony.
think you need the goal scorer though.
I think
Who is it?
his attitude stinks. He's actually slow. He's worryingly got problems, and I'd rather they didn't come into the club.
But you do want a centre forward. You think a
sure.
centre forward will take
For
you to the
sure.
And
We need really to be letting go of.
Nketiah.
Well, there's a list, yeah.
Reece
Nketiah's on the
Nelson.
list. Reece Nelson, Smith Rowe, I think, is up for grabs. You know, El Neni and Cedric are going to be leaving. There is going to be money there for Arsenal to improve the squad next season. But we
Osman.
will be getting better.
So
Osman.
a main man comes in. Let's use Osman as an example, right? The main man like Osman comes in. Gabriel Jesus is first in line when Osman's not there, and Kai Havertz is second in line.
No, not anymore.
No,
No.
the other way around.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
And Jesus is the left
This
winger
is
sometimes.
the winger.
Jesus
So this is a
got-
winger. This is where we went wrong.
But didn't Jesus leave Man City because he didn't want to be a winger?
That's what.
That's
That's
remember
what
when I
happens
said
to
it at the
so
time
many.
when Arsenal brought him in, I was like, you brought him in to be your main number 9.
He's not good
He
enough
was
as a
number
goal
9
scorer.
at City, and City felt like they needed a number 9.
That's
And
right.
Arsenal have outgrown him.
So
That's right.
funny, innit? Because I think Gabriel Jesus is brilliant. I think he's
He is
so good. I think
you know,
he's so good.
I'll say something outrageous here, right? When I've watched this guy live, I've never seen a player move more similarly to R9.
I agree. I think.
never seen it.
Do you know what I
At
think
his
with it?
finishing.
At what he does, at his game, he's the best in the world at it.
It's unbelievable.
Running those channels, pressing from the front.
Pressing, yeah, is great.
He's at that very specific. I'm making my argument here and like juggling a bit, but he's brilliant. He's actually unrivaled.
He's had a bad knock though. He's had a bad knock, some surgery, which he's lost a little bit of that explosivity, and I think people in general have now accepted he's not the main man up top. He's better even as cover for Saka. Or
Does he need to accept that? Because kind of he's left City because he wasn't the main man. He's got to Arsenal.
No, but
He was the main man when he got there, but Arsenal have become a
But
much
Ad,
better team.
You must think
Does
he's
he need
good
to
enough.
accept that?
He's good enough to be
If
the
I-
main man somewhere. He's just not
But
good enough
not-
to be the
but-
main man at Arsenal.
Yeah, but then
Lead the line
that's
for Chelsea,
thing.
wouldn't he?
But
I
then
don't
if
wanna
Chelsea
sign him,
become
but-
that top 4 team again, would he be
Yeah.
in the same position?
He's not good enough. He's not good. That's
Does
why
he
City
need,
got rid of
does
him.
he need to accept
No,
that?
but
he starts to
Arsenal
show-
are
he
trying
starts
to emulate
show
what City have done in the league, and he wasn't good enough for City.
But Booth, you can be not good enough for City and be someone else's best player.
Yeah, but
So, for
Arsenal-
example, Cole Palmer's a great
Arsenal
example.
are now
Well,
trying
he's
to send him where they
operating
wanted to be. They want to be
No,
a number
but-
1 side in the
But
league,
what I'm saying
and
is,
he's not
like,
good enough for that, in my opinion.
I think the one problem with Gabriel Jesus is his flaw is Chelsea's flaw. We miss a lot of chances already. The last thing we need to do is solve our wastefulness by signing a wasteful striker. But I'd love him. He's obviously a better player than Nicholas Jackson. Do you know what I mean? Like,
of course,
obviously.
yeah.
So
Ooh, I mean, yeah, he is, no
He-
doubt.
wait,
But
what?
I think he's massively underrated.
no, Jackson's fine.
He's a really
But
good
he's not-
player.
He's
really
not
good.
and not close to Gabriel
You
Jesus.
know, he's missed some that I would have buried for sure. Yes,
At your range there.
I'm telling you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see myself there sometimes,
Yeah.
slicing it 40 yards wide from 2. But the stuff that he does
Yeah.
in general build-up,
He's a good footballer.
he's a great dribbler.
He's a
got
good
mind,
footballer.
He's energetic,
Keeps
Yeah.
his centre backs busy at all.
and he's kept
Very quick,
positive
yeah.
in a year when a lot of people would have lost their head. You know.
But Gabriel Jesus I didn't say anything particularly controversial there. Gabriel Jesus is a better player.
No, he's a better player. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. The kid's young though. I just think he gets a lot of slack. That guy,
Yeah.
Jackson.
But, yeah, because people
People got all
need
the
him
time in
to
the world
be-
for Nunez to be
I don't.
working it out.
I don't understand why.
Like
I mean, you're
Jackson,
right.
It's like they want it now.
Mate, you're completely right.
Even though his record apparently is better than Drogba's first season.
Yeah, I did see that's misleading. I did see that.
Is it?
But
Drogba kind of
it
forced
is
that, didn't he,
misleading.
by coming out and
We won the
defending.
league and League Cup that year. Do you know what I mean? Like we were a better.
Should he be?
We
Should
were a
that
bit-
mean Drogba's input should have been more then?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
all the
God-
way in competitions.
No. It was when you're competing at the top. There's so much more pressure. There have been so many times for Chelsea
Scoring
where
20 goals when you're competing for a league's different
to scoring 20
when
goals.
you're
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
at the bottom. Innit?
We
Pulling you out of the mud.
yeah.
Look, you're
Above
moving
United.
towards European
I mean, we're
football.
gonna get Europe.
we're
You'll be
bombing
above
on purpose
Newcastle.
like NBA.
We're gonna get Europe. I mean,
Honestly,
I think we're
honestly.
gonna be in Europe now. It
6
could
isn't
be the
bad, mate. 6 is not bad.
I mean, it's,
Yeah,
it's
but
where it was.
eighth is.
Eighth
Eighth is.
That's the
where we
is
are.
that
That's the problem.
officially
Eighth's
the
shocking.
worst it's ever been.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that the lowest finish?
Statistically, it'll be the worst ever. Yeah, especially definitely in the Premier League.
Unless you win the cup, I
this
suppose
is
you can
what
put a kind of cherry on the cake.
Look at the players.
I don't know how you haven't
Pick from,
sacked
man.
him.
They
Then.
won't win
I
the
just
cup.
don't
Look at the
understand it.
players.
They won't touch the ball in the cup final.
We're gonna win that. You know what? When I knew we were gonna win it, when I gave my ticket to my uncle. When I gave it, I was like, "Do I really want to sit with Buvey and watch this?" And I gave him the ticket, and then I thought,
I mean,
We're winning.
you're not going to win it,
We're winning.
but it's a great mentality to have, and I salute
back
your
to them,
mentality.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. I do appreciate it. I do this as well. I managed to convince myself. Like, you know, when we were going into that game against Arsenal, like my WhatsApp group was going off. It was like Cole Palmer's out. I was like, no, no, we're going to be fine. It's actually better. It's actually going to work in our favour because now, you know, we have to sit back. No, it didn't work. We got beat 5-0. And which was, by the way, you weren't at that one, were you?
I wasn't, but
That was, I think that was the worst ever,
Chelsea performance against Arsenal. So you've seen?
maybe London Derby performance Premier League era.
Yeah, no, the difference is crazy. The
But that was
levels.
only 5 games ago. You know, like the feeling around Chelsea. That was I think it should have been
picked up, I think. It's
in
picked
5
up.
games.
Yeah.
Do you know what's happened? Enzo Fernandez. Maybe it's coincidental, maybe it's not. Enzo Fernandez is having some surgery, so he's fit for the Copa America, so he doesn't play for the last 6 games he misses. He went off in that Arsenal game. Since then, we've drew against Aston Villa in a game where we should have won it. We were very unlucky. We were robbed towards the end, Dizazi. And we fought back, got a good point at Villa Park, and then have won 2 London derbies and won yesterday. All off the back of that Arsenal defeat. It's very peculiar. And that's why we're going to qualify for Europe.
When you play the best, some little bit of it might rub off.
When you play the second best. When you play the second best. How are you feeling about this? Do you think you trounce them here?
If we don't, I'll be very, very disappointed. However, let's be realistic for a second. History, I think it's win in 16 attempts.
And that was Aubameyang, wasn't it? Do you remember? That was a closed stadium.
This is not.
I remember.
Rowe. Do you remember when
Overmars,
Smith Rowe?
I
It's
remember
not the same team.
Viltord.
No.
Overmars. Wiltord won in the league. Oh, that's why. Do
Overmars
you know what
as
they'd
well.
be singing? No, that didn't win in the league, though,
But
did it?
pretty much did.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But that's what they'll be singing. Like, we won the league in Manchester.
We take that,
if
though.
you stop them winning
All
the
the
league
4 in a
here,
row.
if you stop them winning it, no.
Yeah, if I was in the ground, I want Arsenal to lose because you're in the ground. You can
Yeah,
hear
but
their away
Arsenal-
fans.
Do you consider Arsenal your biggest rivals?
Oh no,
No.
Liverpool. Premier League era, probably Arsenal because of the amount.
Like
of
in
times
our
we fought.
lifetime, though.
Yeah, the
Not
amount
for
of times we
history.
fought, but the people that I hate playing the most and like hate losing to the most are Liverpool.
It's so funny though. You're not actually that bothered from the sound of things about it being City. It's like you've.
I don't want them to
accepted-
do 4 in a row, but I think a little bit of that. Look, obviously, I'm not from Manchester. I don't grow up around Manchester City fans and all that kind of stuff. But also, it kind of feels like it means less to me.
Like,
I
you know what?
Liverpool winning the league
actively
or something
support Man City. I'm so
Anything
pro.
to keep it out of London. Yeah.
Anything to keep it specific. Yeah, out of London is very important.
Yeah.
But also, it means so much with it being you.
Yeah,
Because you haven't had it. But remember, Hugh, when I was a kid, you know where I grew up. When I was a kid, imagine.
Yeah.
You're winning doubles.
Yeah,
I was coming to Highbury, you're singing that we won the league in black and white.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Clubs getting sold for £1.
Yeah.
It's all mad.
It's constant. You haven't won it for 20 years, 2 decades. Like, there's a whole generation of Arsenal fans that don't know
They've
the
never seen it.
feeling.
I know,
Right,
it's
what's your
crazy.
prediction?
It's crazy.
I think that Arsenal will win 4-0.
Good man.
It could be.
4, yeah.
I mean, look.
Only the 4.
Right,
by the
What
way.
have you got
Only the 4.
positives for United?
Yeah,
Main-
are there
Mainu.
any? Yeah,
No.
Yeah, convince me, Ad.
Scott McTominay is our captain. That's not a positive though. That's just something that makes me want to jump out the window.
He's been your best player this season,
No,
arguably.
he hasn't.
That's
See,
not-
Buvey knows the right things to
I
say.
don't think that's that crazy, Ad.
Has he not?
He
He
seems to
scored
score
loads of
every
goals.
week.
He's much
Bruno
improved. He's
Fernandes
much
has been
more
our best player.
influential.
Okay, maybe Bruno.
Hoyland's
But yeah, I agree with that. Bruno is by
Garnacho.
far your most important player.
like. There's so many players.
He's been your best midfielder then.
Is he?
Is he your top goal scorer?
Is he
The guy isn't a midfielder. He's wearing an armband today, so he's going to run about thinking he's Roy Keane and like playing this
You need a
image
bit of
of.
that. You need a bit of
you need a
Roy
bit of
Keane.
You know,
Yeah.
you know
Who,
the full
McTominay?
thing
Mentality
where,
is cool.
where Roy Keane was actually a very good player, but he'll just do the stuff where he's running around shouting at people, being
Yeah.
anonymous. Can't stand him. This is
Look-
where I'm at with a lot of our players. I just can't stand him. Anthony, sell him. Get rid of him.
How do you feel about Ten Hag's like insistent and consistent mentioning of the
Arsenal game.
previous game?
Yeah, it's weird. Isn't it? I think it is for him. I think it's a massive turning point, probably in the momentum of the team this
Yeah.
season, and that decision not to give it the goal some people could argue it was onside. I've not seen it with the lines and all that. Who knows? But I think then we go from 2-1 down, we lose the game 3-1. I think that probably changed a lot of the feeling around the season and where we were going in the direction. We go to Arsenal and we win. And we win 2-1 at the start of the season.
Yeah.
A team that's fighting for the title, you suddenly start to feel a little bit different about things.
And on them, it was a symbolic victory for Arsenal simultaneously, wasn't it? Suddenly Declan Rice scoring last-minute winners. It changes everything.
Changes
Suddenly
Declan Rice and how he
yeah,
feels and
absolutely.
everything. I think it was probably... But I think the big problem for us, I think obviously there's been tactical issues and all that, but I think that everything stems back to injuries.
Right, score
Genuinely.
prediction.
Man United get beat today.
That's the spirit. Booth,
I like yours, mate. 4-0.
4-0. And Mr. Wizzy.
I'll go for a cheeky 3-0.
We're off,
Wow.
by the way.
We are unanimous.
I'm praying for United.
I'm praying for United.
I'm praying for United.
I am as
Come
well.
on, United.
United.
Well, it's the type of thing that, it probably jinx it, but I struggle to see how United are going to find a goal.
I've struggled to see how United are going to stop Arsenal as
It's
well.
Arsenal already. It's Arsenal already.
So that's the other thing. I just don't see how this Manchester United back line, you think about how free scoring Arsenal are. They've
was
scored
a
more
foul.
goals than anyone else in the league, haven't they? They're so free scoring. The other thing that Arsenal have, they have goals from all over the pitch. It doesn't matter whether it's Gabriel scoring, Kai Havertz scoring, or anyone in between.
Trossard's been scoring for
Trossard's
fun.
the man.
Yeah.
Trossard's the main man.
Such a good sign.
He's such a boy. Every single time he scores, do you know what I just immediately think?
No,
McKola
It's a great start. Look at this
a great
start. Look at the
start.
football.
What
Look at
touch
the
from
touch.
Havertz? Oh, he's been too unselfish. That was a lovely touch.
Kai Havertz
probably
with a
thought
chance in the
Trossard's
box.
going to make a central run.
That was a lovely, lovely
United
touch
again
from
just
Kai
rushing
Havertz
everything.
into the
Big game
space.
for Diallo. Wow.
Yeah. Deep
Yeah,
end, though, innit?
he's
Now,
very,
once the game
he's-
kicks off and they start attacking, everyone's in the half.
He's not
Yeah,
Ozil,
back in.
right? But he's got something like unique about him, Havertz. It's very difficult to pin down what it is. He just thinks differently to people.
Mm. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's very. I know what you mean. Sometimes it would happen at Chelsea where
not the line.
he would
Hanging over it.
Not on the
find
line.
himself.
Hanging
It
over
doesn't matter, does it? He would find himself on a different wavelength to everyone.
Yeah,
He would find
yeah.
it wouldn't be that he would have done the wrong thing.
Good header by Wan-Bissaka.
Header off the
There was
line,
a flick
was
on
it?
on the near post from the corner. And Wan-Bissaka
All over
gets
these.
it
Look at this.
clear.
Oh, Saka. Beautiful.
Well
God.
done there.
We
by
are a
Delors.
minute and a half into
The
the
low
game.
started on the left today, which is interesting because we have been playing. They're both
Wan-Bissaka.
right backs, but we've been playing Wan-Bissaka at the left before. But it's the low now that will go up against Saka and Wan-Bissaka on the other side.
We're 2 minutes into the game. It has been 100% Arsenal pressure. Manchester United have had about 10% possession. And, I mean, this is a sign of things to come, I think. Excellent start from Arsenal. 100 miles an hour. Brilliant. Brilliant from them. Annoyingly brilliant.
You must be gutted that you're not top of the table with kind of form with all games played. Is there a result in particular that you think gutted that you didn't get a win? The Fulhams of the world, West Ham, Aston Villa, home and away.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I sort of gave up after Villa.
Yeah.
This is now, we're living on a prayer and obviously hoping for someone to slip, for City to make a mistake or someone to do us a favour. But
Was that Arteta's mistake in that game? Because City smashed Villa a week before.
When was the Villa
They've been
game,
struggling.
I actually think Emery
2
is
months ago.
a little bit of a nemesis for this guy.
Yeah.
He's played 5 games against him. He's won 1.
Yeah. Even with Villarreal coming back to the Emirates and launching him out the cut, like he can beat him even with
But
a
they've been
weak
poor,
team.
haven't they, Villa? In the Conference League, they got kicked out,
Emery's,
conceded loads of goals.
Emery's elite as
got
well.
smashed by City, conceded 4 in that
Emery's
game.
massively underrated.
Emery's
manager.
elite.
Yeah, I know they are, but Villa's form going into the Arsenal game wasn't great.
And they also
And
they have a good team now.
Christ,
They have
Yeah,
a
they
good
do, they
team.
do, yeah.
Ooh.
Do you know what?
Every time we have a chance to clear it, we give it straight back. We're trying to play it out.
Do you know what you need to do here, Manchester United? Even if
Look at this.
I imagine that this would be that's Evans, ridiculous.
No, it's we
Big
didn't
little chip, little chip into
I mean,
character.
in fairness, Evans has chipped the ball to him under pressure at fullback. Like, he doesn't want that.
You've got to
ball.
lump it.
The thing is, this is where Manchester United could be getting it so wrong. And if they haven't set up like this, they need to change it immediately. They can't beat Arsenal. They need to accept that. They can't beat them.
yeah.
There's nothing that they can do. And Arsenal must know that. The only way that, 88% possession for Manchester United.
No.
In their third.
In their third.
In United's third.
In their third. 88%. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know what our Manchester United are going to do. They've been praying for the full-time whistle
probably,
already.
although we had a few more options in that game.
Hojlund.
Probably
Ooh.
similar to the Liverpool game where you try and make it a cup game, innit? You try and...
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Oh, it's a big chance.
It's a big chance.
Wow.
So early. Such a big
Wow.
chance.
He's slipped there.
That was left foot as well.
What do you think about this kid?
Don't rate
Rasmus.
I like him.
Don't
I
rate him
think
at all.
Really?
Similar to the way you
You?
guys were talking about Nico Jackson.
Right.
I think since his injury, he's not been playing well since his injury, which is the last 6 weeks since he returned. But in general, like if Manchester United don't crash out of the Champions League, I think we view his season a lot different. Like he was one of the top goal scorers in the Champions League when we got dumped out, and
He had a
I
nice
think when
little
you look at
purple patch there, yeah.
his all-round play, I think he's generally quite good. I do think he needs to. I think he's come to the Premier League with an eye like, I need to be physical. And he spends a lot of time being physical when maybe he could do a little bit more.
What, running in behind as opposed to
like
coming
rather
short?
than always constantly looking to engage in that fight. But I think he's done well. I think he's been if there was another striker there that was our main man, you'd look at his first season in the Premier League, he's done all right.
It's been a 6, hasn't it? 6 out of 10, 6.5.
6, yeah,
How old is he?
7.
21.
21, isn't he?
Yeah, he's young. That's a bit.
Like Jackson's a 6.5 out of 10.
But
The,
honest-
the thing is, though, he's
no,
young.
No.
Jackson's
He's
had
better than 6.
Jackson's had a much better
Jackson's
season than
had a much better
Hojlund.
season,
Much
yeah.
better player than Hojlund.
Much better. I don't know if he's had a much better season.
Well,
Oh, he certainly
They've
has.
both
scored
had
loads of goals.
they've both had periods where they've been
Probably outscored him by
start of
3,
the
mate.
season. Hoyland was scoring
More than that.
more goals.
He would have outscored him by
Scoring in
3.
the Champions League as well.
Yeah, he would have
remember.
he would have outscored him by 3 and finished higher up in the league.
Above you in the league, mate.
I mean, how does that correlate to two players' seasons though?
No, but he's taken
And they've
Chelsea
pretty much
higher.
been next to each other in the league the whole time.
He's outscored him massively.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's
Nico Jackson's also missed a lot of chances.
no doubt.
I can't remember Hoyland having games where you look at him and you go,
A lot of the chances
boy, this
Jackson
guy's
missed,
missed 3, 4,
Hoyland's a
5
smart
chances.
player.
a lot of the chances that smarter. He's most certainly not.
His link-up plays
Most certainly not better than Jackson's. That's
you
the
think?
one metric. No, absolutely,
way.
Jackson's a bit rusty with
absolutely
that,
not.
with linking up
No,
play.
boo, far
Really?
from it. Yeah, that's the one thing
Doesn't
that
carry
you
the ball very well.
Jackson.
No, he doesn't carry the ball very well.
Is he- What are you talking about?
That's one of his
No,
main
Jackson's
strengths.
problems
that
have been finishing.
No, that's it. That's
It's the
what he's
last-
good at.
the
United
last
in the box,
moment is
Garnacho,
Jackson.
shot blocked, Wan-Bissaka on the edge, Ahmad.
Okay, Ahmad's looking a bit dangerous.
Oh, nice
Yeah.
football.
Player.
Garnacho deflected and over. Good opportunity for United. That Ahmad's one of them players, if you just hang a leg out, he's so tricky with the ball. Like,
It's better from United though. It's nice little.
nice.
And the other thing, do you know how
if Rice just
we all
his toe out there,
dismissed Manchester United's chances here? The one thing that we have to acknowledge, we haven't really spoken about today, is every single time that I can think of, at least off the top of my head, that Eric Ten Hag has desperately needed his team to turn it on. Whenever it's looked like they were at rock bottom, they found a win. I remember when Chelsea went there earlier this season. We went there to get Ten Hag the sack. They beat us. Like there have been.
Oh, Raya, what is that, mate?
Raya
Can't miss it.
handles a corner into the box. He gets away with it
If
for
you-
now.
Oh,
there. Oh God, they're
he's
terrible.
tricky. Is he taking
Poor
Anthony's place
pass from
then?
Well
Amrabat.
played, Trossard.
Yeah.
Amrabat's going to kill him.
I mean, I could have took Anthony's place, to be fair.
Got a bit scared.
Yeah.
I think he got scared that Amrabat was
Only
going to
Amrabat,
clatter.
man.
He's a big guy.
He's going to
a big
clatter
guy.
you though, yeah. It's the
Also,
thing.
he was on his own, Trossard, then.
You think he could just burn him though?
Yeah, but
Just knock
you
the ball
burn him
into
into
the-
what? I think they're kind of taught to look for a pass, you know what I mean?
that's true. Yeah.
Like I can burn him down here, but then I'm just going to be in the corner on my own. Let's-
Yeah, that old-fashioned wing play, which would have once been a brilliant thing to do. Yeah, get to the byline, and hope for the
Plus,
best.
you'd always have a striker just milling about up top.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
got two. Nowadays, your one striker's busy fighting with some centre back somewhere.
United look better though. Much better in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they've come into the game, and it is important to acknowledge that they have turned it on whenever they've needed.
Arsenal on the
Liverpool
counter
games are
attack,
huge.
though.
Both of them.
Odegaard, Saka,
If they score
Into the
if they
box.
score early though,
deflected
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for a corner.
yeah,
4 or 5-0 if they scored next 5 minutes.
yeah.
What I would say is we fought that with the Liverpool game
Yeah.
No, I do
on a
think
couple of occasions.
I
But
do
Arsenal
think-
have been a better team than Liverpool this year, but still.
they do have an outrageous record, Manchester United, for finding a result when the odds look stacked against them, and their manager looks on the precipice of a sacking. This is where they're so dangerous, isn't it? Watch Ben White here. Ben White on corners is a dream come true. It's everything that you want from a snidey player playing for your team. He has absolutely no interest in the ball. What's he up to? Surprised he's not
All
just
in.
on and on.
Ooh,
Headed over by
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Wins it though. You win it all the time. His numbers, like goal scoring numbers, Gabriel, have been very impressive this season as well, haven't they?
yeah, he's a real leader. He's.
Do you think Saliba's helped bring more out of him, though? Because he's kind of that calm head
I
next
think
to him.
he allows Saliba to be as
Oh, you think
silky
it's
and
vice versa?
composed as he wants to be. I feel like Gabriel is the leader, and Saliba is a younger brother who's just listening.
I feel like Saliba as well, though, does, because of his style and the way he is, he brings that composure and that little, little
Amazing
calmness
to
to the
watch,
back
man.
line.
Just having had people like over the years like Senderos, and it's,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Koscielny I'd actually say is one of Arsenal's best centre backs of the Premier League era.
Yeah, but still.
Um,
That's just an
on the ball,
do you think?
especially, yeah.
Who was the other?
Massively
Stepanov,
underrated.
maybe
and
I went
unlucky with
bad example. I'll go
Most
Igor
Saka.
Stepanov.
Yeah, okay, worst ever of all time, arguably.
Senderos.
Senderos played in the 6-1, didn't he?
He was incredibly intelligent, Senderos, wasn't he? He's like
8-2.
really bright.
It's funny, like,
He was. He was like,
Was he?
Yeah, he's like a professional.
oh my word.
Man
Got
United.
away with that one. Arsenal have got away with one there. There was an overhit pass.
you
But
can sense
McTominay
it.
and Hojlund
Feels a
just
bit
couldn't-
cagey,
Few
doesn't
nerves,
it?
few
Feels a
nerves are
bit
creeping
cagey,
in.
yeah.
You can see Arteta looks nervous on the touchline.
Because you know what as well? You know when you go into a game like, we should be beating these today. But then you are at Old Trafford and stuff. It must kind of be like, this feels like...
And you haven't had the Arsenal as an institution haven't got a good record. I know they've had glorious moments there, but the 8-2 is far more memorable for a lot of people than maybe the Overmars goal. Do you know what I
don't
mean?
think many of
Alan
these
Davis,
players are
Alan
thinking
Davis
about that.
going nuts in the away end. I don't know how many people would know
Dark
that.
days.
Yeah, they know the 8-2 far more than the Overmars goal or the Wiltord goal.
I remember from the Overmars goal, there's the guy with curly hair and a black jacket just celebrating.
Yeah, no, that's
hard,
what I'm saying.
wasn't
That's what I'm saying. The Alan Davis
Was that
lookalike.
Alan Davis?
It weren't
Yeah.
him, but it was
Yeah,
a ringer
yeah,
for
yeah.
him. Screaming
Going
like,
mad.
yeah. Yeah, he had the curly hair, like Jonathan Creek. Yeah.
The only team in the top 8 that United have lost to at home is Manchester City.
Oh, I hate when records like that.
You've got a good record at home, haven't you?
No. We've lost against
It's a
Bournemouth,
pointless
Palace,
record when you're getting battered by Palace.
Brentford, Brighton.
In the mini league of teams around you, though.
I mean,
You have to rejig
can
the
we
argument.
count the top 8 teams around us? Yeah, we're great against the top
Yeah.
8. The bottom
beat-
12,
Yeah. You beat Chelsea, yeah. You've
bottom
obviously had good
12
results
will do
against
that.
Liverpool, but
we
in
drew
both
against
comps-
Burnley.
We drew against
We
Burnley.
We
at
lost
home.
against Bournemouth.
Sheffield United was bad. I know you beat them, but that was bad.
We only beat Luton 1-0, but I know Luton have done well against the big boys, haven't they, this season?
We drew.
What do you make of them going down?
Who, Luton?
Sad to see.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
a little
a
bit
little
sad
bit
to see.
disappointed. I like their
Yeah.
manager, man.
Yeah.
I like
I like
them.
Yeah,
that.
the only
He'll
one.
move.
I like them.
He's got a bit of a cult following, hasn't he?
Has he? Yeah.
All his videos get 1 million views because of all the horny housewives.
Oh, is he popular? Is it
Oh, is that what's
really?
happening? Wow.
The Desperate Housewives.
Of course.
Like. He's the eye candy. He's what Buvey is to this show. He's to the Premier League.
It's sad on some level. All the promoted sides got relegated yesterday, essentially.
Do you think the chasm between Premier League and Championship's growing even?
Yeah, of course it is. And you look at Nottingham Forest, who are a massive club, of course, and they have to spend loads of money. They fail to compete and try and get above that kind of threshold of getting relegated every season, try and be a mid-table at least side. And now they've been charged for financially, for financial irregularity. So it's hard for some of these clubs getting
That's
promoted.
good though, right?
It's a difficult
if there's
question.
rules there that teams are sticking to, then teams that break
No,
them
I
have
think
to be
FFP is there
held
to protect the
accountable.
big clubs, and I think a lot of the rules are there to protect the hierarchy of English football.
Although it is agreed, like the Premier League is a collective. Everybody meets and agrees on the rules. And then if somebody breaks them, like the chairman meet and agree.
Yeah, it's not great that Nottingham Forest broke the rules, but they obviously felt on some level they had to try and compete and try and keep them.
Not the only ones, are they?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm sat here really struggling with everything coming out of your mouth. I really like the actual audacity, like the barefaced cheek. Like 115 reasons I don't want to go into, but it seems like it's one rule for them and another for everybody else.
No, I've said that the rules that potentially City have potentially broken, obviously we don't know the finalities of that, are similar to Nottingham Forest. I think clubs should have some sort of right to compete with the bigger clubs. And maybe Nottingham Forest have done it in a legal way. They've actually been charged. City haven't yet. We can discuss it when
They
City
have been charged.
or
you just
have
gone to
not.
court yet.
Yeah, they haven't been found
But
guilty.
there's 150
Man-
They're
charged.
allegations.
Manchester,
150
Manchester City
allegations.
are currently innocent, though. It's important.
Yeah,
to-
but
it's
you're
important.
innocent- your innocence will
they're
prove
innocent
charged.
they're probably innocent of stuff, and until proven otherwise, yeah, sure, but they are guilty of plenty.
Man United, they
That is
attack the
factual.
Diogo Dalot carrying the ball.
But-
Woo!
Even, I mean, it might not seem a big deal, but even in women's football, like the behaviour that they've been able to get away with is outrageous.
Really?
They replaced Doncaster Bells
Is that what happened?
in the Super League.
Is
They
that
were
what
like
they
the most successful team in women's
I
football.
remember the Doncaster
11
Bells.
out of 12
What, the
years in
Doncaster
a row.
Bells don't exist anymore?
No, they exist, but they didn't get put into the Premier League because they chose Manchester City
No,
to
they
replace
did what
them.
Arsenal did back in the day.
Exactly.
Henry
yeah.
Norris,
exactly,
right.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Talking about women's football. Man United FA Cup winners today.
I'll be honest about that.
Yeah.
People talk about in the old days anyway, Arsenal. If you really know your history, we are the city of our day back then.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, Arsenal bought their way back into the top flight at the expense of Tottenham, didn't they?
But we are here now. Let's talk about the present moment.
Interesting. Yeah.
You shouldn't have mentioned that because now you're giving Buvey to talk about that.
I'm comfortable with where our origins. It's just
so City fans,
like
one of the oldest clubs in the country.
It is. It's OJ, isn't it? You really can get away with murder if you've got enough money.
Gloves didn't fit you.
I said that on the old
Gloves didn't.
I got done. Remember when I just lost my head with Big Steve and I was like, it's OJ, man. It's so obvious what's going on. And like City fans are getting on to me for ages about that.
I don't know what you do. What do you do? Because ultimately, I'm more convinced than ever before that they, regardless of whether innocent or not, will be able to get away with it.
If it's important also to acknowledge, isn't it, that if they are found innocent, then we have to believe in the rule of law, do we?
I guess each to their own. Do you trust?
Some people
justice
still
system?
consider OJ to be guilty.
Yeah.
You can't keep using
I'll
OJ. It's
stop
ridiculous.
talking about
It's embarrassing.
It's just
It is embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
It was when you brought
It's
it up on
not
the overlap.
embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
It's
in my
not
opinion.
embarrassing.
It is because we're talking
It's
about a
not
real
embarrassing.
football club. These are real people involved, and OJ.
OJ's a real person that got away with murder, much like City.
It's embarrassing to bring completely disproportionate legal cases together as if they're connected. They're obviously the OJ thing's a joke at that level. OJ, what does that even mean? We're talking about a football
what
club.
it means when people allude to that.
Yeah, it's hyperbole at the highest level, isn't it? It's ridiculous. We're talking about sports.
What isn't hyperbole?
We're talking about
It's
sports
115
integrity.
charges.
We're talking about sports integrity.
Ooh, if you want to talk about
versus
sport
murder.
integrity, then it's not a great place.
Yeah,
to
bring
start.
up a murderer. It is a very different thing, in it, and it's a bit distasteful, isn't it? Let's be real. It is because obviously, murder.
I mean,
Yeah.
human rights.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, but how am I involved in that? How am I involved in that?
Everything is connected.
how are
isn't
Man
it?
United playing, Adam?
We won 4-0 today against Tottenham Hotspur in the FA Cup final. Big win from the Reds.
It was at Wembley.
4-0 Manchester
I
United.
saw loads of Tottenham
Ella
fans.
Toon's golf.
Ella Toon's
Unbelievable.
back one in.
30 yards out.
Yeah, what a day for Manchester United. Spurs bottling it at Wembley again.
Arsenal in the box here.
Spurs bottling it again. The game's been much more even than the first 5 minutes in the last 10.
Well
Although
played,
we've just given the
Brilliant
ball away.
play from Odegaard there.
Guess
God.
who? Scott McTominay.
Yeah, he's
And
the only
again,
one.
he tried to
He's-
do it away again.
He's your most likely threat for a goal.
He's also
He's been your best player.
he's also Arsenal's most likely threat on our own goal.
Yeah, it's all a bit frantic. I think we just need to calm down a bit.
Mm.
Control of it a bit more.
Yeah, it's. Do you know what it reminds me of from an Arsenal perspective here? Do you remember that Johan Cruyff quote where he said, "They can't beat us, but we can lose to them." That's how I feel this is for Arsenal.
Whose quote was that?
Johan Cruyff said it.
Was it?
Yeah, Johan Cruyff when he was at Barcelona said it about any Serie A team, and it feels like that here. Arsenal, Manchester United can't beat Arsenal, but Arsenal can lose to Manchester United if they get it wrong.
Yeah, everything that's happening for United is either Ahmad or mistakes.
Yeah.
Has he played enough, Amad Diallo? I think he deserves a lot more
He
opportunity
deserves
versus Anthony.
He deserved to play a lot more. I think a lot of Man United fans wanted to see him play. One of the arguments was when he did start, which was rare, he didn't really have an impact. He had more impact from the bench. But then, especially when Manchester United have been in the form they have been this season and you're kind of looking around looking for a hero.
That's good. Great pass, God.
And then he scores the winner against Liverpool and this is his first start. Like, it's quite
The
not...
way
Amazing last
Odegaard,
season.
the way Odegaard moves with the ball, it's so graceful, isn't it? He's just so fluid. His whole body
Oh, he's
seems
class,
to move
Odegaard.
constantly. Like one of those, you know, those things that blow outside of.
Inflatable arm, man.
Yeah, he's like
Car
one of
shop.
those, isn't he? Just so fluid and
Car
easy on the
dealership,
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, great signing.
Brilliant
Absolute
player.
bargain. 30 mil.
Brilliant.
One of the
Crazy.
biggest bargains of the Premier League. Like, when you look at it, because he went to Real Madrid, he was huge,
about
huge
15,
talent.
wasn't he? Yeah.
15. Yeah. Huge talent. Everyone wanted him. And then to get him for 30 mil when he hadn't really...
Was it Sociedad? Was
done
he, where-
much.
Sociedad,
He
yeah,
went to
on loan, yeah.
Sociedad after
Heravine, I think, as well on loan.
Yeah, he did a couple of loans in...
Casemiro.
He came to City's training ground.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Feels like a very Man City player.
I think he
actually.
met Guardiola, I think. Maybe Pellegrini.
Right.
But yeah, never materialised.
Right.
I still think he needs to do more in big games at the highest level. I still do believe that. I think you look
What,
at
you like Bayern
Foden,
Munich?
Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, they score goals in these big games. And I think he's been missing a few, especially the Bayern Munich games in particular. I don't think he influenced it at the highest level. Maybe that's not the midfield not
Again,
being
it's
quite
like-
right.
it's
I think
very
Partey should
early
have played
for-
that game
for
against
him
Bayern Munich.
to judge him on that. Like Phil Foden's had the luxury of playing for a Man City side that have been in the Champions League consistently for how many years?
No, but it's
Foden,
how we judge.
like-
it is how we judge top players, isn't it? We were
Well, it
having
is,
the,
yeah,
we
but
were
it's
having the debate
Erdogan's
about
first
Kane.
season, like first,
Yeah, that's true.
adventure in the Champions League.
Although the thing is-
He would have learned a lot.
Who
It's
do they have in the
it's a
group?
fair
And
point.
Porto
It's a
and-
fair point to raise, though, isn't it? You know, when we think about the conversation that we had recently about Harry Kane, I didn't agree with it really, but it's only using the same.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
only
No, I
using
agree
the
with
same.
it, but
What's
in
the Kane?
context,
So,
first
so
season.
we were having a debate here, and I was saying how brilliant I think Kane is, and that isn't. Everyone at this table agrees that Kane is brilliant. I think I think Kane could have won a Ballon d'Or if Bayern Munich had won the European Cup. Like, I think he's brilliant, elite, phenomenal, legendary player. I really do. And the argument that Buvey and I have had over the years.
Oh, it's clinical Guy Havertz with the most game-changing moment we've seen
Was
today, and it's 1-0 to the arse, my son. I
Trossard
told
with the
ya,
goal,
what a
Havertz with the pass.
signing. Oh, clinical.
There's
So
really
easy,
poor
wasn't it?
defending there because
Beautiful
one
player,
man.
So
What a
easy.
player, what a
It
player.
was like everyone
United
played
gave back.
offside.
Look,
Everyone played
It was
offside,
United
but he was
away,
onside.
that way it
Yeah.
almost
See
looks
the
quite
first
calm.
touch
It's
to
to be
take it away
expected.
onto his right.
From
No one's
Casemiro.
expecting that.
Shit, man.
And
I don't
Trossard
believe
there
it.
again.
Trossard don't stop scoring. Trossard is everything I want McKola
Look at this.
to be.
Look at this.
It
They
was
give
like
the
it was
ball away.
offside, but it wasn't because
No,
look how far back
architects of their
Casemiro
own
is.
It was a Man
downfall,
United ball back on it.
Architects of their own downfall.
Everyone played like it was offside, but look where Casemiro is.
Was
Oh.
So bad.
Mate, that's shocking.
Obviously, he's not a centre back, but everyone, even I know,
Doesn't
you
he
got
know?
to ball. You got to
He
follow
doesn't,
the
he
line.
doesn't even follow the runner. Nobody's gone with Trossard.
Beautiful.
It's so easy.
Havertz reading where Casemiro is. He's very smart with the space.
No,
Straight to
come
the
off it.
byline. No, that's it.
Come
Have a
off
look at
it.
it. Have a look at it again.
That's just
The
shoddy
shocking defending,
Casemiro.
man.
Yeah.
That's
Kai
shocking.
Havertz, clinical, just
He
loitering.
should be getting that ball and pumping it.
That's real bad by Manchester United.
Ruben Diaz
Real
did that
bad
against
by
Fulham
Casemiro.
yesterday.
He's
It
a
was amazing
master of
clearance.
space. Beautiful player, man. Great stuff.
It's game over. Now it's on to Spurs.
Honestly.
Game
Now
over.
it's on to
What's
Spurs.
not game
I don't
over?
think
Let's
there's
change
been
the
a player
badges now.
that
Let's
I've
put the
changed
Spurs
my
City
mind
game on and
so
we'll do
much
a
on
preview.
in such a
Two
short space
people
of
can
time.
already
No
can
way.
still
I
win
can't think
Super
of
Six.
Do you know who I've done?
2
that?
goals away.
Who?
Anthony Gordon.
Okay, yeah.
Anthony
yeah,
Gordon
yeah,
is a player
yeah.
that I
No, he
didn't think
stocked
was
up.
very. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. You know when I've.
At first, when he signed the big deal, you're
Yeah,
thinking,
it's just like, what?
What's going
Chelsea
on?
were linked with him. I was
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
He's amazing.
yeah,
It's
exciting
amazing.
players, man.
Yeah, but no, you are right as well. I think Trossard. Do you think we acknowledge how good Trossard is? Do you think we talk about it enough?
Top of the league. Just want to clarify.
No, it's important.
As it stands.
It's a moment, isn't it? Being top, you're top of the
We're
league
back.
with a game. You're top of the league with 2 games to go.
Pressure's
They've
back.
got one game.
Pressure.
innit?
They've got 1 game to go. Top of the league with 1 game to go here. If it finishes like this,
I mean, look, I know. I
Superior
actually don't
goal.
like hearing myself say this because I used to say about Tottenham, look, you put the pressure on, big deal, well done, you didn't win anything.
yeah.
But actually, if this progression continues, we will be winning something, whether it's in the next game.
What year?
Or, well, next year, I guess.
I agree.
Like, it's going to happen.
I agree. If you keep knocking on the door enough, the door eventually opens.
When you
Exactly,
say something,
especially when
is that like are you talking top? They're going to win a top trophy, Premier League,
Premier
Champions
League,
League,
yeah.
yeah,
or
that's what I want.
do you
Yeah,
include
yeah.
the cups and things in that?
I do like. I do actually value the FA Cups a lot more.
No,
than
so
I
do
think
I.
People
But
do.
if Man United win the FA Cup this season,
You know
it's
what?
not like
Going to the
it's-
FA Cup
you know.
final, it's a day out. You remember those moments.
of course.
We need
Yeah.
those as fans to say, yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
But
Also,
in terms of
you're a
the
club
long
that has a
term-
very proud tradition in the FA. It's a good trophy
our
for Arsenal
cup.
to win.
It's our
Yeah,
cup.
yeah, the yellow ribbon thing and all that. It's like a
Yeah.
proper thing, isn't it?
That's not my point. Was though, like Arsenal have won FA Cups when it was considered to be a failure. Like Arsene Wenger, the pressure was all on. They won FA Cups. then.
This.
Yes,
All over
beautiful. Ooh.
That's a shocking ball.
Is that gone straight out? Is that?
No, I want the big ones now.
Is that what you're talking about? When you say we'll win a trophy,
There was a
trophy,
stage
it
this
means a big
season.
one.
There was a stage this season where I fully believed we were capable of winning the double.
Mm.
I actually feel like we're the best team in the league, Adam.
What, the FA Cup and the
I
league,
feel like
you
we
mean?
play the best
I
football
think
in the
it must be
league.
Champions League.
I feel like
Well,
we've
you
got the best
concede
defence in the
you
league.
concede the least goals and you score the most goals.
Right. That means we're nearly there. The Champions League, again, it's moments. It's
you know
literally
what,
moments.
you-
If Ben White scores that 1-on-1 against Neuer, we're through.
The other thing is, I think,
2-0 up.
if Arsenal had been on the other side of the draw, I know this is applicable to Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, all of them, but everybody good ended up on that side of the draw.
Yeah.
Like, the other side of the Champions League draw? I'm not joking. If Newcastle had got out their group, they would have had a chance to get into the final.
Yeah.
Well, it was PSG Dortmund who were in Newcastle.
Exactly.
Group, weren't they?
Both beat.
Exactly.
And Newcastle at one point looked like topping that group.
Newcastle smashed PSG. If Newcastle had got out their group, that side of the draw was so kind. And I believe that if Arsenal had been on that side of the draw, they would have got to the final. Same with Man City as well. In fact, same with Bayern Munich. Anyone on that side of the draw had a nice pathway, man. It's just a bit of luck. I agree with you though, Hugh. If you knock on the door loudly enough for long enough, the door does open.
It's a small. You got to capture that though, especially like if. It's no disrespect, but like if someone wants to come in and take some of your best players, and you haven't won anything in a year or two's time, not now, but in two summers' time, then
who could that happen
City
with?
come for Saka, for example.
No, stop it.
Maybe he wants to go because you haven't.
You never know.
Stop it, bro.
Really?
I can't believe you're actually
Odegaard going back to Real
ideas.
Madrid.
Odegaard. Yeah,
you can see these
No,
kind of
again,
things happening.
I'm sort of over believing that Arsenal are not a big enough club to be able to keep that player anymore, especially him. We've literally given him a home. We've given him the responsibility of the armband. We've given you life.
A lot of players don't care.
But we've seen
Now Arsenal are apparently, and I fully believe it, one of the most requested clubs for agents. People want their players here.
Of course. Makes a lot of
People
sense.
want to be part of that.
But there's
program.
always one or two. There's always, there's some great Man United players left in their prime, and look at Ronaldo and David Beckham and players
It's a
like that.
different
It's hard
club.
to keep players
It's a
sometimes.
different club. We don't need to sell like that. In fact, we've got players that we're happy to
No, but
sell
these
that we
players
can then
want to
reinforce.
win.
There's always one or
Premier League.
two.
They
Every
want
big
to win
club
the
has
Champions
one
League. They
here
want to win
or
the
there.
league. That's what I'm saying. How many
PSG
years?
coming for Saliba, stuff like that. You never know. Man City has to
PSG
say, well,
coming
Leroy
for
Sané.
Saliba. Who did he train with as a kid? Who did his dad train him?
I don't know.
Okay, Mbappe.
Yeah.
All right. He's not going to go to a place
It's
where
just an
his
example. I'm
mates
not saying
just left.
Saliba or
The
Gabriel
the
or...
connection's gone. It's over.
Yeah. It's hard
If
sometimes,
anything,
though.
there's one club in the world where I'd be worried they could take it. It's Real Madrid. That's it.
Real Madrid, yeah.
That's it. And honestly, the money that we're able to offer, the fact that we're living in prime places in London,
London's a big factor.
it is.
Yeah, for modern footballers.
But so the allure of Real Madrid is always poignant.
It's the
for any
one I fit.
footballer,
It's the
though,
one
isn't
I
it?
fit.
Yeah, the allure of Real Madrid.
And it used to be Barcelona.
Now
Everyone wanted
now
their
it's
free little
Real.
Champions League
What
trophy
one
with
player is he
Messi.
going
Man City as well. Do you not just think that Manchester City, whilst Guardiola's there, it's always going to attract, isn't it?
I think it's funny to say it like this, but I think they're smarter than that. Man City are, like, say what you want about the Chargers and whatnot, but they have done everything at the elite level. Every single role is filled by the best in the business.
Exactly.
And as a result, they are more than capable of finding top quality talent, again, who want to come and win things and be part of the legacy they're creating without having to go to Arsenal.
I love Ben White. I'd love to take Ben White. Give him a home in Manchester.
He surprised me quite how good he is, Ben White.
God, I think he's been their best player.
Plays well, centre
since
back or
turn of
right
the
back.
year, since the summer,
Exceptional player.
since he went to Dubai for that winter sun, he's been their best player.
The Dubai trip.
That's what it was, wasn't it?
Something happened in Dubai.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he lost 2 consecutive London derbies, went to Dubai and have become like basically invincible.
It felt like 4 months without losing a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, you've played what, say, 18 games this calendar year, and out of 6, you've won 16. And in the 2 that you didn't win, one of them you got what you wanted anyway, which was a draw at Man City. You went there for a point.
Yeah,
So
outrageous.
and you might not win the league. You probably won't win the league, in fact. Like, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
It is ridiculous, but this is where we are. They've created something where you have to be literally perfect. Liverpool have proved that.
Yeah.
They've entertained us for a while, but that's all they were able to do, really.
It's not quite perfect.
Make
It's a
something.
low 90 score this season if you
No,
if you'd have won the
90s is
league.
do you know
They
what?
can finish on
90s ain't
89
low.
points.
You can't say
No,
low.
it's low now, though.
It is.
Because do you know what I remember
The average is
arguing?
91 to win the league
Do you know
last
what,
10 years.
Do you know what I remember arguing when, and this isn't that long ago, this is Antonio Conte's Chelsea team, right, of 2017. I remember having an argument with my mate, he was an Arsenal fan actually, he was saying that it wasn't a very good team. And I was able to argue that it was an elite team, Arsenal in the box here, Ben White, it's not gone in. I was able to argue that Chelsea team, that Marcos Alonso, Victor Moses, Cesc Fabregas, N'Golo Kante Chelsea team was elite simply because it exceeded 90 points. I said anything in excess of 90 makes you a great. And now, that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
90 doesn't win you the league
Yeah.
on some occasions. Matt, what did Liverpool get? 97?
97 came, but the average is 91 in the last 10 years. So if Arsenal get 89, they've dipped below the average of the last 10 years. That includes Chelsea,
But that's
Leicester
because of the
City.
Centurions, though, isn't it? That's bumped the average
Yeah,
right up.
Centurions are 5 or 6 of those 10. But there's other clubs as well that have bumped the level up. Mourinho's Chelsea, Conte's Chelsea, Leicester City with Ranieri.
They didn't
If they
did Leicester City
I
get
don't think Arsenal fans can be that upset if they get 89 points and they come second.
Oh, I do.
No way. The average is 91. So
No,
they've not
89 is a title-winning.
Not in the last 10 years. It's proven not. It's not. The average is 91.
I think that's what you've done to the game. Though.
Yeah, Jurgen
you've
Klopp,
actually made it so that it's like every club has to win every game, otherwise you're irrelevant. That's where we're
Yeah,
at.
but the Centurions didn't win every game.
But you know what's weird? Like, I think,
90.
how many games have you lost this season, City?
And it's
3,
different
I
if City had lost to Arsenal home and away.
Mourinho came in and made it.
but,
That's one.
but Arsenal losing games to Fulham and West Ham, and that, if you can't beat Aston Villa home or away, who have just been smashing the Conference League, that is the standard. If you can't beat Aston Villa, it's not Man City's fault. We beat Aston Villa in the return leg after losing to them
But it's
in
not.
Birmingham.
But that's you're looking at the game there, the Man City game. The Aston Villa game in a vacuum. The reason that they didn't beat Aston Villa is because they had to win. They won 17 out of 19.
Yeah, but the side that faced Aston Villa, a side that conceded 4 to City at the Etihad in and around the same time, were beatable. They concede so many goals in the last few weeks.
Do you know,
Emery,
society though, football society, this should be the case. If you win 17 out of 19 in the business end of the season, that should win you the league.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I'm clinging to now because head to head, we've done you over. You've not scored a goal
you've
against
been
us in
fantastic.
180
Obviously,
minutes.
deflected goal for the winner.
Yeah.
And you've done Liverpool in your mini league.
First time that
you've won
looked so impressive.
You've won the mini league, yeah. Yeah, you've taken
Everything's in place.
So it doesn't have to be Aston Villa. It's a bad example because they are a good side this season. They might be in the Champions League.
Now Fulham. That's
West
where
Ham at home.
Chelsea when we were terrible.
Chelsea. Exactly.
Emery felt like a final nail in the coffin because of who it was.
Yeah.
Realistically, Fulham and West Ham in consecutive games. When you're 1-0 up and they got 10 men.
Yeah.
Last season was Southampton, one of the worst sides we've ever seen in the league. Home and away.
Look, I'll give a lot of praise to Arteta because I think he deserves it, but he made a couple of decisions along the way where I thought,
United on the attack.
you're changing things unnecessarily here.
Yeah.
Maybe that will end up costing us.
Oh, Maino, good feet. Well, chance for a pinger on the edge of the box. Oh, it's not even a pinger.
Where do you stand on Mainu?
I think he's an incredible talent, but I think we've got to be careful with him. Like,
Too much too soon?
no, not too much too soon, but like we're putting a lot of pressure on him because, especially some of the senior heads around him. I know Casemiro's not playing in midfield, but he's not particularly pulling up any trees. Ericsson plays against him, McTominay. Like all the experience head around him are useless.
Yeah, the
generally.
midfield is too slow and
So you need someone in there with him,
Yeah.
like just talking to him.
he looks like a great talent though, man.
What a
He's a
player.
fantastic talent.
Oh wow.
Right,
United got a chance to.
Okay.
Hojlund back to goal in the box, but he's got
Yeah,
4 or
look,
5
that's
Arsenal
just
players
not
around
good
him.
enough.
That defines him.
That's just not good enough.
He's so happy to make contact. He wants to engage, but really, first touch is average.
Yeah.
I don't really see any
enough.
sort
Also,
of
stop
elite
worrying about
attributes.
this. Once the ball's there,
Yeah.
stop worrying about this now.
Yeah.
Find someone.
Yeah.
Although
Or
there's hardly any of his teammates near
No,
him.
it's
Like,
hard.
he's
There's only
Arsenal
one.
surrounded him quite well.
I think he
quite
needs to
quickly.
do a bit better though, doesn't he? Like try and roll him maybe, hold it up, protect the ball more. Like what's Mark Hughes doing in that situation?
Mate, someone.
Lukaku's good in those situations.
Yeah, you're comparing literally an international icon.
I'm not
with
comparing
a
him. I'm just saying
child.
it's just not
He's
good enough.
literally got acne. He's not. He's not ready.
Yeah, but he's playing centre forward for Manchester United. Of course.
And
I'm aware
that's
that
why
he's.
I'm so uncomfortable with watching this.
But I
Well,
can
he shouldn't
only.
be our
But I
first
can
choice,
only.
like, that's what I'm
this.
saying.
But I can only judge him by the fact that he's leading the line for Manchester United. I can't judge
Well, we've
him
had
by
no
the
other
fact that he's a
striker.
child.
Like,
If you're
kind of-
playing for Man
you kind
United,
of
I
have
have to
to, though,
judge
like-
you like a Man United striker.
we
which
never
is why I
bought
compare
him
you
like
to-
He isn't.
Harry
He
Kane.
isn't. We all
No,
know
if we
that.
bought Harry
We know
Kane,
that.
Harry Kane starts every game. You go, that's what you've bought him for.
Yeah.
We haven't bought Hojlund to start every game, and he's starting every game.
But
Like
you spent £75 million on him to sit on the bench then.
Load of money.
No, but to be he's young, bro. Like it's a long-term project. It's not bring him here now. He's going to score 30 goals. You want to kind of take him in and out.
But you wouldn't have
of the
spent
team.
75 million quid to
We was
not
less
be
than
the,
75 million.
What
but
was it?
It was about 60, which is still a lot of
Okay.
money.
75 with the add-ons that
Right.
he won't
Well,
achieve.
well,
Have
it's
they
not.
just bought him because they couldn't get anyone else?
Well,
Could've got
I think
Kane,
the idea
surely.
was we wanted Kane. Nah, Kane wants to win something, innit? You can get Kane, or you can get an upcoming. Like who else
You
was
see
the like?
Carlo
Maybe Tony
Ancelotti?
was banned for 6 months. Like all those.
Did you see Carlo Ancelotti admitted that he really wanted Kane in the summer and Real Madrid couldn't afford him, so they went and got Hojlund?
Wow.
That's genuinely what's
And he not buying out of the champ.
Yeah.
with the two goal. Oh my
Yeah.
Not Kane out of the champ.
Yeah, they couldn't afford, which was a
I've
situation
watched
I've
a
never
lot
heard
of
Real
him
Madrid.
this year. He's one of the most fraudulent strikers I've ever seen.
Ooh, Hojlund.
Life is just so funny. You know, when the moment comes,
Yeah.
sometimes some people
Yeah,
are
you just take it.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah,
Like
like,
true promoting, innit? When he had that.
Yeah.
PSG
He was on the
Bayern
in the
Munich.
game as well.
What an agent this guy's
Yeah,
got.
what?
Yeah.
I've seen this guy miss from literally in the goal.
yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Right, we got some super chats need to read out.
Come on, United.
Super chat there.
Question for Buvey, and who would you take Mbappe for your squads? Oh, it feels like an obvious question, but do you want Mbappe?
Would you take Mbappe?
Sounds stupid, doesn't it? Would you take £1 million, guys? Would you?
You'd obviously take him.
Is this with the announcement in mind, and maybe Fabrizio being wrong?
He's not wrong.
He's going to Real Madrid, isn't he?
Yeah. He's going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I think he's been destined for Real Madrid for a long, long time.
Would he? Where would he go? Where would he?
He would start for City. I can't. I think he is overrated in the narrative of football, but he'd be a world class player for City.
Hold on, wait.
I think he's slightly overrated in terms of where football fans view him. I think he's a top class French legend, PSG legend. I don't think he influences the game at the highest level in the Champions League yet. He's proven it for France. International football slightly different.
Yeah, it's
against Dortmund,
World Cup finals.
but Dortmund was poor, and that's where we are now. The World Cup was nearly 2 years ago.
Easier playing for France in the World Cup than it is for PSG in the Champions League, though. No,
I mean this is Dortmund.
No. How many players have scored hat-tricks in World Cup finals?
Yeah. I'm not saying. What I'm saying, he's a world class player. Some people say he's a generation. He's better than Thierry Henry. He's the next Zidane for France.
He's well ahead of Thierry Henry.
What, in total football legacy?
In terms of what he could achieve in his career at the moment, 100%.
Could achieve.
Yeah, but the potential.
He's been to 2 World Cup finals. He's like
not yet. Henry's got a Champions League. He's got multiple. He was the highest scorer in the Premier League in a single season.
He got
for
a
a large part
Champions
of his
League
time.
very late in his career.
Yeah, he still won it. He's part of that squad massively.
To get it.
Until Mbappe wins the Champions League and a major league, he'll win the Real Madrid. Win La Liga next season for sure.
Do you think he's the best player in the world?
Mbappe, yeah, 100%.
Do you think it's fair to be called the best player in the world?
Been for a while.
Where was he
playing in the best
Dortmund?
league?
But Dortmund, though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You can be the best player in the world not playing in the best league in the world.
Yeah.
Sixth best league in the world.
La Liga hasn't been the best league in the world for time, man.
But he won the treble with Luis Enrique a few years ago.
No, but Messi didn't win it for 10 years. Are we going to say he's not the greatest of all time? Come on.
No, but there was when he was playing in La Liga. I think La Liga was certainly arguably the Premier League.
No, not for a minute. Not towards the end. Yeah, second, I'd say. Second.
To the Premier League?
Yeah, I think so.
It was debatable, though.
I think they're like their top 3 are probably in European competition more elite than ours historically.
Yeah, definitely.
But in terms of like the league,
but it would be debatable. The French league is most certainly not the best league in the world.
Sixth best.
And never has been.
No, it's not. But I'm not judging him off just that.
Right.
I'm judging him off what he did at Monaco for a start, which I haven't seen anything like it since I saw Thierry.
I've said that recently because I don't think he's improved since Monaco. But that level's incredible. It's world class level. It's like Rooney when he first broke onto the scene. I don't think he improved massively since that.
Diallo. Great tackle on the floor from Partey.
It's a good tackle.
Some players start early and they never.
Yeah.
He was a
I think that's an outrageous
early.
comment that he's not improved since Monaco.
I don't think he has. What aspect to his game? I don't.
He's much more intelligent. He's much more aware. He's much more patient. But
he ripped Man City apart in the Champions League.
He's actually more clutch at PSG now.
Do you think when he played City for Monaco though, less was known about him? But in the sense that he never had the reputation he does now, where nowadays you go, right, 2 people have to.
But why are we ignoring the fact that they played Dortmund, who are nowhere near expected to be in the final? They got Hummels, he's a fantastic, legendary centre back, very very old at this point. The right back is nowhere near world class right back. And he got completely isolated in both games, and he didn't influence the game at the highest level. It's the Champions League semi-final. Why are we ignoring
it happens,
that?
man. It does happen. I do agree.
Happened to Haaland, didn't it?
He wasn't involved.
I don't think Haaland's better than Henry, or has the potential to ever be better than Henry.
Wow, that's a crazy one as well. Man.
You think?
I mean,
I don't think he'll ever be a better player than Henry, but
he'll never be better than Henry.
He's not a better player than like 90% of the players in the City squad. That's a fact.
Yeah.
There's no way technically he's on a level with half your players.
No.
But again, elite physical attributes and
finishing.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that he's elite at. It's just Mbappe to me is capable of changing more games single-handedly.
Definitely.
And the pace thing, the acceleration especially, I've never seen anything like it.
I think we'll see it now at Real Madrid. I think at Real Madrid is when he'll come alive. Yeah.
Where does he play though? Because Vinicius, for me, has to
play
start
through the middle.
left.
He's been playing through the middle for Paris Saint-Germain.
He has at times,
Yeah.
but
No, this season he is.
That's
not every
his,
game.
That's
but he
not
has
his
sometimes.
best position, you know.
But he has to go through the middle because you're not going to displace Vinicius, are you?
Or Rodrigo on the right.
Nah, Rodrigo's, man, come on, we're being serious now. Come on. It's Mbappe we're talking about. They're paying a lot of money.
You're not just putting through the middle, though. That's
Well,
where
he's
the
He's not a right winger.
that's where the
He wants to
hole
cut
is in the team. You
He
just
wants
put
to
him
cut
in the middle, no? Also, he wants to play in the middle, doesn't he? That's where he's been saying he wants to play for Paris Saint-Germain. It's where he's been effective for Paris Saint-Germain.
No, not as effective.
He needs to go to Real Madrid and just be one of the
winger.
team, bro. He needs to stop this, I'm the CEO of the ROC act. walking around like he's the boss.
But Vinicius
the
can't
boss,
play down the
man.
middle.
That's the
He went to the
problem.
World
That
Cup final
causes
and
the
scored at
problem.
18 years
That's
old.
a problem for a player. If you pulling all the strings at your club and you're basically a director of football, that's a
It
problem.
did cause problems making him. The
But
de
look-
facto sporting director didn't
that's
do him
a
any
problem.
favours.
That's not
They've
good, man.
given him the keys to the castle to keep him. That's the deal. There was no way he was going to
worked.
stay last season without all this power.
He did that video this week without the permission of the club.
Did he?
Yeah, the owner
Was
of
it? Yeah.
PSG had no idea it was coming out, and he found out at the
Slightly
same time we did.
problematic, isn't it? There seems to be a lot of upheaval with Mbappe. There seems to be a lot of this sort of thing. Issues with the club, threatening to leave, not leaving, becoming a
PSG have
sporting
apparently
director.
cancelled his farewell as well. Whatever that looked
But
like.
the fans are having
Does
their
anyone
own
know
one, I
enough
think.
about? Oh, that's what I was just about to
Yeah,
ask.
yeah.
I was going to say, does anyone know enough about the Parisian French? Like, I find their culture at that club brilliant. Are they into him? Do the ultras there,
think so,
the
yeah.
Boulogne boys, are they?
He's PSG's best ever player.
100%.
No, but I believe it.
Yeah, and I think the fans accept
I believe
that as
that's
well.
true. Well, actually, Ronaldinho.
Did he do more than Zlatan?
Ronaldinho?
Zlatan was their top
No,
record goal scorer.
He's won 7 league titles and got into the Champions
Who
League final
else
for the
was there?
first time.
I'm
in
asking
history.
because I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No,
it feels like Zlatan did
I think
more.
his length of time. No, he got to the Champions League final with them, which is which is something.
Cavani
For them.
scored
Yeah, I
a
think
bag full of
Cavani
goals
was their
for them as
record
well.
goal
Was it
scorer.
Cavani?
I think
I
so,
knew it
yeah.
was one of them.
Cavani.
Oh my!
Oh,
what a
look at the
God.
touch though. Van
I think-
Persie in his prime, bringing it down from the heavens.
That was a generous comparison.
Di Maria played for them as well in a great.
Di Maria. I mean, it was Ronaldinho and JJ Okocha.
Arteta,
But
Arteta,
Ronaldinho
yeah.
Pochettino.
became the player we know him as at Barcelona.
Pochettino.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were teammates, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone said JJ
yeah.
Okocha?
Yeah, Okocha,
JJ
yeah.
Okocha, yeah. Only 1-0. That would be a little bit concerning for Arteta based on how much of the ball you've had.
Yeah, great.
Well, they
Great-
don't concede goals,
great
do they?
position
After?
to be in.
Great. 1-0
Away
up,
form's
1-0
incredible as well.
1-0 up away from home at Old Trafford. Take the sting out of the game second half.
We take a 1-0 even. But, of
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nah,
At this
3
stage,
points is all
do
that
you know?
matters.
But listen to
Goal
this,
difference is already
mate.
fine.
But no, it's not anymore. It's not anymore. They're in
Head to
trouble.
head.
It's only 2 goals.
Yeah.
3 now. It's only
Yeah,
3.
3 goals. 3
Three.
goals.
Do you know as well what I've seen? Listen to this. Is that imagine this for the final day of the season. If Tottenham get a draw against Man City, they go into the final game of the season on the same points, and it will come down to goal difference. They both, Arsenal playing Everton, they'll have to try and outscore Man City, who are playing West Ham. If Man City had to go for the jugular, you're starting 3 goals down. What does the score finish? Man City, West Ham.
I think 6. It could be 5 or 6. That is.
West
That
Ham will
I
bend
thought you were going to say.
Our
I thought you were going to
record-
say more.
West
than that.
Ham and City love
No way.
each other.
I thought
It's
you were-
weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
the weird,
there is
man.
a
West Ham
So
connection.
and
you
City.
think
Might as well
6
hold it
if
down
you
for
go for the
United,
jugular?
I think
surely.
6. Yes,
Look,
possible.
not
Show
for
you
United.
again.
Not for United.
What about
Got
you,
rid
Hugh?
too early.
Hugh, if Arsenal have to score goals against Everton
rid
final
too
day of
late.
the season, it's harder than West Ham. You have to score goals against Everton final day of the season. How many do you reckon you could score?
Yeah, looking at the last fixtures, Everton, they're being massively underestimated.
I know.
Defensively, they've
Defensively,
been
they're
unreal.
good, man. Yeah,
Really.
Dyche,
The job is done
Dyche,
now, innit?
Branthwaite,
And
Pickford.
I just
The
get
job
the
is
feeling
done.
like Sean is going to
Sean
want to have
would wanna
some kind
do
of
it.
impact.
Sean Dyche would want to ruin
Any
it for
kind
you.
of influence he can have over the final standings. I just reckon
Who
they
win
want
that game 1-0 or
That
something?
lad's been really good, you know. He's so
Yeah.
tidy on the ball.
So I reckon if Man City have to score, like, look,
What
all
is the
it
goal
takes is a
difference now?
draw.
Sorry, so what-
3, including this one.
3 different.
So you,
Three
mate,
difference.
Man City in the last.
Wait,
Man
City made it 2.
Man City in the last
It was
3.
smashed Fulham.
Man City in the last 6 weeks. You're looking at 5-1, 4-0, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus, and they've managed to get it down to 3 goals, including this one. It was 2 last night. So we could have a situation if Tottenham get a draw, the league will be won on goal difference.
Ray, a big save.
If Tottenham get a draw, the league will be
What if
won
the
on
goal
goal
difference
difference.
finishes the same? They'll win it because of head-to-head
Head-to-head.
results.
Head to head, you're finished. Yeah, you're finished.
Reflected goal that you're making an Amazon documentary about.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
You won the league on goal difference before, didn't you?
Yep. And I'll tell you what,
Was that the Liverpool,
you know what?
the game at Anfield, yeah?
Changing those 2 results around has been part of the reason why I really believe now.
Yeah, yeah.
They know they can do this.
Mentality. You've matched us.
They've done it
100%.
multiple
You matched
times
us
now.
up for it, 100%. Will you be gutted that you didn't beat us at the Etihad with the injuries we had, the form? You had the best
Yeah,
chance
should have
in the
gone for
game.
it. Should have gone for it.
Because I saw Arsenal
gone
fans
for it.
celebrate.
I didn't
but
agree
again,
with you
no.
not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
I-
surprised
It's a
they are
good
Arsenal
point, man. No one. How long is it?
There's no
How
su-
many games consecutively without scoring a goal? Oh, with scoring a
Since
goal.
2021, I think.
That's outrageous,
Something like that.
man. That's an achievement. In
It is an
You think
itself.
it's a good point.
These lads are superhuman galacticos who are backed by.
Not quite.
a
Oh, they're Man
bottomless
City at
pit.
that.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, yeah.
To be able to get a 0-0 draw, even that's a good point, man.
But
it's
I
the
think
other
you could have
one.
won that game.
Yes, we could. I agree.
I think you could have
agree.
won that game. If you'd
I
gone
agree.
for the jugular, I think that you could have
It'll
won.
be decided by goals scored, not head-to-head.
And
Which
who
Arsenal are winning again, right?
So goal difference, goals
they got
scored,
better-
and
they got
then
better
goals
head-to-head.
scored is
City.
City winning.
Yeah.
So
Was that
you
a
just-
handball by Rice there when the ball fizzed off the keeper?
No, that's outrageous.
the goal scored.
It should be head to head though, right?
Yeah, immediately.
It should be.
If it's level,
I don't know, I think
it
it
should
should
Or
be
at
be
least
goal
goals scored in their
personally.
games between the two.
I've always
you
thought
know,
it should be
something
goals
like that.
scored.
I reckon that would be the best final day that we could possibly have.
Yeah.
If Tottenham get a draw, get
Yeah.
a draw against Man City,
Yeah.
both Man City and Arsenal have to just score loads of goals against West Ham and Everton.
And see
I think
Arsenal
City
score in the
scored-
last minute to win the league, just so City fans feel what I felt
terrible.
with the Aguero
I
moment.
I could see Man City against West Ham if they had to. I could see them scoring 8.
Ooh, looks like a little injury for Saliba there. As he's gone up, he's got a nudge by Hojlund.
A yellow card must be.
And
yellow
it wasn't
card.
it's not a yellow card.
If goals
But he's
scored,
landed awkwardly.
If
with
goals
his leg
scored,
really
by the
straight.
way, was also the same, there would be a playoff for the league title.
We need that.
That would be brilliant.
We need
Wembley.
That. We
Brilliant.
need that.
That would actually.
Is that before the FA
Can't
Cup
do that at
final?
Wembley.
That would
Wembley
actually be
League
brilliant.
final.
Yeah. Would
Would it be at Wembley?
It's always Wembley.
Well, not home and away.
Do we need
No,
that?
so
anyway?
Wembley's got
Do we
nothing
need
to do
that
with the
full
Premier
stop?
We need
Do
that full
We need a
stop,
Premier
yeah.
League final.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the Premier League final.
Wembley couldn't
Oh.
do because Wembley's not the Premier
I
League.
think it is.
right?
I think it is Wembley. I'm pretty sure. I've always heard it's Wembley because we've had a few of these situations with Liverpool and United
So it would be a one-off game at Wembley,
at Wembley.
to win the
But I don't
Premier
know if
League.
it's before the FA Cup final or after it. But who knows?
No, the FA Cup. Yeah, God knows. That would be.
Because the week after the end of the season is the
Martial,
FA Cup.
Anthony Martial.
It would be at a neutral ground,
Injured as well.
which
Well, he's
would
back
have
to
to be
training,
Wembley,
which
then,
is
the biggest-
Wembley.
which is Wembley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Where's it going to be?
Again,
Older
I think
shot.
a player like our culture is
You know,
really.
he's written it out. Yeah, where is it? Accrington Stanley.
No, he's been given enough chances. Sorry.
No, but I do think a lot of the mistakes.
Great play, Amrabat.
Man United signed.
Oh.
Manchester United. Oh, yes, useless.
That was poor, man.
Shit, isn't he?
Useless.
I saw a great tweet. You sold Fred for 8.5 and then you brought this guy on loan for 8.5.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah,
Oh man, these guys are idiots.
and Fred was never as bad.
They're like contestants on The Apprentice in the first round when they're selling oranges for like $5.99 or something. They just get no sales. It's the same
Start
guys.
giving them away, hoping
Same
for the
guys,
best. Yeah.
honestly. Yeah.
Right,
Ball in.
get it in there.
I don't know.
That's it.
Ball in.
Keep up.
Straight to
Shit, aren't they? They're fucking shit. Let's just turn the TV off now.
That's a good off.
Honestly.
Solid.
Let's just turn the TV
A
off.
little
These
bit
guys are
shaky
shit.
at times, but
They
Why are
haven't
we-
really threatened you, though.
yeah.
I know what you mean. You've panicked here and there, but
Yeah, that's
over,
it.
over,
Where we should have
overall,
done
you've
better
been,
with, though.
overall, you've
It's just a little bit of nerves.
You'll smash these 2 or 3 in the second half. Fucking rubbish.
I don't know. You know, the longer it stays 1-0.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's good for
you,
me.
you need it to be 1-0 for as long as possible, really, Ad. Try and nick something out of the game.
Well, nah, I don't. I'll take a 1-0 L.
Has there ever been a game against Arsenal where you've gone in with less belief? Like literally
question.
ever.
Next to Shea
I'm
Given.
trying to think. I'm not ignoring the question.
Mm.
Possibly now, yeah.
No, you can't have ever felt this low about a Man United team. Like, I've never seen it.
No,
like
I'm just trying to, because there could have been periods in time where, you know, because it was United being shit was newer to me.
Mm.
So you just feel worse about everything.
Yeah,
like, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
Yeah. Because,
And I
because
mean,
it's
maybe,
only
like,
the last 10
I
years
think,
or
was
whatever
there a
it is,
game
isn't it?
where the wheels were falling off for Mourinho when we played him? And it was just like, I don't want this game.
Mourinho would always beat Arsenal, though, regardless.
Yeah, but Man United
Regardless.
Mourinho is a different person.
Yeah.
Like Man United Mourinho was the one that was.
Mourinho-
happy to finish
Mourinho
second.
used
I
to
still can't
relish.
believe what Tottenham did. I cannot believe it. You have the chance to get rid of the jinx.
I know.
Hit the ball.
I know.
And you get rid of him before
Just
the
cup
final.
I know.
Nah, it's the craziest thing
It's
I've
the
ever seen.
craziest
I
in
think it
thing.
was something to do with if
Something's happened.
he stayed and won it, they wouldn't have been able to sack him.
No, do you know what it
It was
was?
a
What I read?
contract, it was
It's
a bonus.
contract. It's what it was.
What-
The
what-
thing that I read was because Tottenham didn't play in the league that week and everybody else did, it meant that Tottenham dropped out of the top 6,
So they
which
could,
meant you could sack him without paying him off or something like that.
or paying him as much.
Paying him as much, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because winning it gets you
Yeah.
into Europe.
It was
doesn't
like United waited
Yeah.
for Moyes to make sure he couldn't get Champions League.
Which means you pay less. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Because then you get sacked for missing out on the
Because
top
you
four
remember,
rather
they
than-
brought in that Ryan Mason, and he didn't do that badly as half-time in this game.
Half-time.
Ryan Mason in that final, he only lost it 1-0.
Yeah.
Like, Mourinho could have probably done something.
Yeah, and I think the players probably believe a bit more playing with Mourinho in the final.
Of course, Ryan
Yeah.
Mason.
Even if
Yeah,
things are going
yeah.
bad, they're like, we believe in.
He's not
Yeah,
the
you-
youngest ever manager to manage a final in
Yeah.
England.
If Ryan Mason tells you, do this, you're going to go, what do you know?
You're not
about
my
this?
dad.
Yeah. Whereas you're looking at Mourinho and you're going, no, the geezer's good, man. He's a serial European Cup winner. Let's just believe him.
Yeah, it's half-time here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Arsenal sitting top of the league as it stands. What we want to discuss, though, at half-time, seeing as we've got Hugh here, is a little Arsenal Premier League era 11. We kind of got stuck into a debate the other week about a Wenger and Klopp Premier League 11. And I was batting the case for a lot of the Arsenal players to be in there because of nostalgia and that. But let's talk about Arsenal only. And, are any of the players currently going to make it in? Do the Ozils, do the Sanchez's, do they make it in? Rory, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about this team. And firstly, it's going to be a sensational team. And secondly, I've just done my team in my head. And I think I've got it right. And the perfect situation that I'm in is the main man can tell me. I've got a team and we have the perfect person to explore whether the team is correct.
No current players should be making.
No current player gets into the team I've just done.
They don't get in my imaginary one. Buvey, do they get in yours?
Maybe one for me.
One, maybe.
Hugh.
But that's about it.
One player from this current Arsenal side gets into your all-time Emirates era.
Arsenal Premier League era.
Okay,
yes,
right.
It's
Not Emirates.
93 or whatever.
Who is that?
You can include players that played at high.
We can get there. It started with the goalkeeper.
You can include David Platt.
Yeah, David Platt.
Platt's a good shout. Brilliant player, David Platt.
Lee Dixon.
Lee Dixon's one of the big shouts.
Lee Dixon.
Right then, let's start. Goalkeeper.
Goal, yeah.
Goalkeeper's a...
Goalkeeper's really easy for Arsenal. Yeah.
Layman was...
No, it's Hugh.
Nah, Seaman. For me,
Yeah.
Want a double.
Yeah, you just have to suspend what happened in Paris with Naeem, and it's Seaman.
It's a good debate. I think Layman's eccentricity and the fact that we did so well, had he not... it's too much of a problem.
Paris.
Yeah, it's too much of a problem to get rid of.
They were both in Paris. I just realised you've got the... You've had your two European Cup finals. Because I just said Paris about Naeem.
God's sake, man.
I thought it was
Welcome to the club.
Barcelona.
No.
Yeah.
David Seaman in Paris with Naeem.
Yeah, that was the...
Against Zaragoza. Against Real Zaragoza.
Yeah, no.
They were both in Paris. Was it the same stadium in Paris? It must have been.
Parc de France.
Parc de France.
Did you call it Parc de France?
He said Parc de France.
That's what I said. France.
I
don't know.
I think
the Arsenal keepers are in both. I don't know what stadium.
I think I take Seaman.
Seaman.
Yeah.
Agreed. Was it unanimous Seaman?
Yeah.
Unanimously, we love Seaman.
There we go. Seaman. Right back. There's, for
This
me...
is the contentious one for me. Because I think there's an argument at least.
I go Lauren.
Yeah, and
Every time.
I think Ben White in the modern... If this side has to play today, I think Ben White's got more technical ability than Lauren. He's more versatile. And I think Arteta, if he was the manager, might pick Ben White over Lauren.
The manager.
Just to ask...
If he was, because
he's
it's just right now.
Because he's going to be Wenger.
Fine, yeah. But I think Wenger would take Ben White's technical ability
Just to
with
check,
Lauren.
do we need to talk about Lee Dixon
Of
here?
course.
He's not on the level technically anywhere near to Ben White. No way. Impossible. Ben White can play at DM. He's a good footballer. He can play midfielder, I reckon.
Is Ben White better than Lauren?
No, I still go for Lauren. Yeah.
Some people are saying Bakary Sagna.
He was good. He was very good.
It's a good shout. It's a good shout. Solid.
I never felt like he was...
He also went...
He's one short. He's one short.
Yeah, I never
think
felt
he's one
like he
short.
was... I felt like when you lost Lauren, you never got to that level again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren was
And he was
unbelievable.
close.
Shithouse
He
as
was
well.
close.
It's Ben White, yeah.
It's Lauren for me.
Yeah. Okay, Lauren.
One
should we-
shout for Ben White. Ben White's in yours.
Are you...
It would be for me, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's your team.
Yeah.
Are you suspending tribalism and putting Ashley Cole left back? Or can you just not bring yourself to do that?
No. Ashley Cole is the best left back I might have ever seen. Never mind at Arsenal. Yeah. At one stage, anyway, he's literally the best defender in the world.
Yeah,
Quite literally.
I think he's... Do you think this is
He's
fair
the only
to say
player
about
of that
Ashley
England
Cole?
golden generation that could say, like, consistently, I'm the best in my position.
Yeah, I know.
They all flirted with being the best in their position, you know, there were some great players in that team, but he was the one that...
Nobody
No
can
left
play.
back better.
I think if you're comparing, you know, when you compare other players, you can compare Sol Campbell to Tony Adams, or you can compare Lauren to Sagna. If you're comparing Ashley Cole, you need to start talking about Roberto Carlos and Paolo Maldini. Like, you're not comparing
Better than
Ashley Cole.
Carlos, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
But you're not comparing. What I'm saying is, you're not comparing Ashley Cole to Wayne Bridge. You're comparing Ashley Cole to Paolo Maldini.
Yeah, he's top five ever.
Yeah, ever, exactly, ever.
Easily.
Okay, so that was very easy. Right, centre half. Should we do it as a pairing? Let's come to Hugh last on this. Adam, what's your centre half pairing?
Sol Campbell is the first one I pick. And I didn't see Tony Adams in his pomp because of my age. I feel like I should say Tony Adams, but part of me, because I didn't see him at his peak, I have no recall to that. So who else would be the options?
I mean, to put some names out there, I'm going to start with Per Mertesacker.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Then you use Tony Adams all day, innit?
Drink that one.
I think Saliba's the best they've had in the last 10 years, maybe since Koscielny. Koscielny had a season where he was very, very good and getting into Premier League Team of the Season kind of discussions at least. But Saliba's the best they've had in the last 10 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think to just do this as a partnership, the other players to mention, I'm going to say names. Steve Bold deserves a mention. Martin Keown would deserve a mention. Igor Stepanovs deserves a mention. But just look, to just do this, the answer is Campbell and Adams. Like Sol Campbell, I think people are aware of quite how good he is. And I don't understand it, why. I think actually Arsenal fans maybe can help me understand it, but also maybe, in my opinion at least, let themselves down a touch. You know, the way that Arsenal fans can be so tribal and so passionate about their players, force the conversation. I don't feel like they do that with Sol Campbell. You know when people bring up Virgil van Dijk, the best centre-half in the Premier League era or whatever people say, which is obviously nonsense. I don't feel like Arsenal fans shout loudly enough about the brilliance of Sol Campbell.
Is
Sol
that
Campbell
because
was
of
just
Tony
immense.
Adams'
No, but I don't think they do it about
existence?
Adams either. I think Adams...
It's to do with who he is as well. Sol's he's a different character.
What, because of the Knickerbockers?
He's different. You know, he says stuff that some people think is a bit outrageous.
Right.
He
Outlandish.
was at that period where he wanted to be a politician.
He was going to run for London Mayor at one point wearing Knickerbockers.
He's not everyone's cup of tea, I don't think. But
But just as a footballer, immense.
yeah, immense.
Maybe because he left Arsenal a little bit early and kind of discussed retirement. Then he went to Portsmouth. Maybe his legacy in terms of the amount of time he spent at Arsenal was a little bit different to...
There was, when I was really, really young, I used to hear stories about Des Walker. People used, like, there was a song, you'd never beat Des Walker. That was the thing. That's so applicable to Sol Campbell in his day. He was just impenetrable. And then Tony Adams is another one that I think we forget. Tony Adams, when it was so difficult for him, like everyone was on his case. I remember, I think he scored an own goal at Old Trafford actually, and he was on the front cover of when like the Mirror or whatever was selling 4 million copies. They put him on the front cover with like Donkey. Like 4 million copies would have been sold of that. Went through it all. Hojlund was snide about him as a centre half, and he was a brilliant player. And as a leader, as a captain, that moment in the game, against Everton when they won the league. Overmars scored 2 amazing goals in that game, but the game will forever be remembered for Tony Adams in his celebration when he left foot volleys it in.
God, what a finish.
I think Tony Adams, again, when we talk about the best ever Premier League defenders, we immediately go John Terry, we immediately go Rio Ferdinand, we immediately go, some people will say Virgil van Dijk. It's Adams. So for me, Campbell, Adams, non-negotiable.
Very good answer, man. Mr. Arsenal, there is no other answer for me. It's above all else, Tony Adams is the exemplary leader. It's the way I like to see my people dying on the pitch for what we would all die to be in the position to do. He's the perfect representative of that. He's a one-club man. He is a man who, again, I sort of look up to in the way that he's turned things around as well. Because it's a lot bigger than just the football.
Yeah, his story's amazing.
Yeah. No, he's truly brilliant. Can you shed any light on that, Hugh? Do you feel like he's overlooked, or chronically overlooked, in fact, when we talk about the best Premier League defenders of all time?
I think they both are, and it's because of with Tony his troubled past,
right?
And it does discredit you when I think people, they make their own minds up. I've said earlier in jest 115 charges, but a lot of people have made their mind up.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case with Tony.
Yeah. Have you read his book, That Addicted?
Yeah,
it's an amazing book, isn't it?
It's
one of the best sporting books I've ever read.
Man. It's traumatic. And that's why I say, as much as I loved him on the pitch and as a leader, it's actually as a man that he's great.
Yeah.
I think that's where he wins.
Yeah.
Whereas I should stress, again, this isn't going to sit well with everybody, but the way that things turned out with John Terry, it's kind of taken his stock down for me. Because as a man, I can't say with full confidence it's as admirable.
And when you judge a footballer, it's impossible to not
That is part.
It's impossible to not. It's impossible to discount. Yeah,
the way to make you feel, isn't it? As well, sometimes.
Yeah. Also, you look on the controversialtopic.com. We've got a man in the middle who some people are still calling number 5. there's a lot of people that, you know, have struggles to be able to get back on board fully. And, you know, men's character is going to be called into question all the time, and you're the representatives of us. So in this little religion world that we've created, with the church being the stadium and whatnot, it's essential that the clergy are, you know, people that we can respect, trust.
Absolutely.
And what are we
Absolutely.
doing with the midfield?
4-3-3, 1 DM, and then 2.
Number 5.
We're going to cause ourselves a real problem if we don't have 4 midfielders.
As in
4-4-2.
You have to have
wings.
2 up top. Yeah, you have to have 2 up top.
Fine, 4-4-2 then.
4-4-2, because we're going to cause ourselves a real problem in the shape of a Dutchman if we don't allow us.
He gets in the team.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So you have to do 4-4-2.
This is
or 4-4-1.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we need 4-4-2. No, I agree. The reason I'm saying it's got to be 4-4-2 is to
So
accommodate.
who are the 2 CMs? So the 2 in midfield.
For me, it'd be
middle of the
Vieira and
midfield.
Fabregas. For me.
Gilberto, surely.
We only got 2 though.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking, because if you got 3, you can do Vieira, Fabregas, and another.
I'll say, look, I have to go with my heart, really, actually, here.
And it's Ian Selly.
My favourite player of the Emirates era, by quite some distance, is Ozil.
No way.
Yeah.
No, wait, this is a love affair though. This is a blind love affair.
No,
I respect it. I respect it.
In a 4-4-2,
I respect
surely
it.
Ozil will be compared more with Bergkamp than a central midfielder, though.
A B-Tech
Formation-wise, we'll discuss, but essentially, there's 2 players that I've seen that I think have just got the gift of the gods. Dennis is obviously one of them. Ozil, I've literally never seen another midfielder like it. Honestly,
you can't.
He's just different.
I love what you're doing here, and I want to talk about this so much because I want to hear your thoughts. But he can't. When I'm thinking about the players that are
Ozil for you. So who's missing out?
Again, you know the character of the man.
You're going to drop someone you love, man.
Yeah, Fabregas. Yeah, Fabregas.
Ooh. You drop Fabregas. Oh, because the Chelsea. It must be a little bit of the Chelsea thing going on there.
What, lobbing Petr Cech and winning the league?
Yeah, a few moments where it's like, we've undone the love that.
I think the whole Ozil narrative about it, this kind of peak Ozil, what he could do, the magic of the man. I think Fabregas is a very similar player in the same regard. And his total game is more well-rounded.
And there's an argument to say that he was so young. It's even more impressive, and how he really carried us as a captain and whatnot, filling huge shoes. I get all that. I just think
I love your love though. This is clearly
he's different to anyone I've ever seen, man.
Yeah, this is a love affair.
The touch is unbelievable. The vision is second to none. There's literally people that will say Zidane is your generational midfielder. I have him in that same conversation.
In your opinion, this is fascinating. In your opinion, do you believe then that Mesut Ozil is the best ever Arsenal player of the? Sorry, the best ever, but the best ever Arsenal player of the Emirates era Arsenal, because he wouldn't be my shout for that.
No, I might even have Alexis over.
Alexis Sanchez, that's who I think it is.
Yeah.
Van Persie, maybe.
Van Persie's up there as well. Again, the character of the man is questioned. Yeah, you sold your soul for 20 silver shot coins
and a Premier League title
and a title
whatever you want to call it. But
so let's
your
get
integrity is isn't it?
So we're going to go from
whose legend is he? When you see him doing interviews, do you claim him?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you really claim
the 20th
him?
league title?
Not in the same way, Adam. You barely talk about him.
He doesn't know who he wants to be claimed by.
I've never heard you bring him up.
Some players are legends and some players are cult heroes, right? And
he suffers from the Michael Owen.
As someone that won us our 20th league title, which is a huge, we became the record holders of that. That means something. It's like Berbatov. He was top goal scorer when we equaled that record and we won our 19th title. Went ahead of Liverpool because they had 18 at the time. That means something. Do you know what I mean? He might not be a legend, but you'll always be remembered for that.
He's a hero.
Also, Fergie's last season helps Van Persie a bit. You know, being Fergie's last season, the way Fergie's story ended.
The goal against City, the free kick.
Honestly, it's one of the darkest moments in my sort of fandom.
Him walking out.
Just like the most baffling decision. He was literally the best striker in world football, and we let go of him for less than £20 million to our biggest rival.
I know.
And he immediately proved us wrong.
Yeah, we won him the league title before Christmas. Do you remember his form from September?
Yeah, he wasn't great after that.
Form from September to Christmas. He just won you the league. Well, you scored 5 against us that year. In fact, he was such a good player, Van Persie. Do you remember when he was one of the only players? Do you remember when Arsenal actually scored 5 at Stamford Bridge?
Back off in the second half.
High line. High line that we were playing ridiculously.
So what midfield two are we agreeing then?
So are you going for your midfield 2 is
Uh,
You said Vieira and Ozil, didn't you?
Vieira, Ozil.
I think we have to agree that though, lads.
I don't
It's
agree with that.
democracy.
I
think we
say
should
Vieira,
be-
Fabregas.
Yeah. You go for Fabregas. Fabregas does not get in my top of the 11.
That's fine. Yeah, our
Yeah.
11s are
He
different, but
doesn't.
my
He doesn't.
my
So we
one-
have to agree. Three
I'm
to four.
going-
Is it Fabregas and who's the other one? Fabregas
Vieira.
and Vieira.
Yeah.
For
Fine.
me, it's Fabregas.
Yeah.
more
And then,
balanced as
so
well.
and then on this side, I suppose it's either Mark Overmars or Robert Pires.
No, it's Pires.
Is Pires better than Overmars?
Arguably, yes, and also longevity. Like, Overmars was here for 2 minutes, man, and again,
He was
you
amazing.
skip town as soon as you got the opportunity. It's like Petit. I watched an interview with him recently where he's saying it's the worst mistake I ever made.
Yeah, I
I
saw
can't
that.
I left
stick-
for
I
a
can't
woman.
stick
I
Petit.
couldn't
I
believe
can't
it.
stick
Chelsea or Barca?
I can't stick
He went to
Barca and then to
Barca
Chelsea.
for
He was one of our worst. If I did our worst ever 11, Petit's in it. Dreadful for us. Absolutely dreadful. We signed him and Zenden. Do you remember Budavine Zenden?
Oh,
Yeah.
Zenden, yeah.
Played Man United first game of the season on a Friday night. Drew 2-2. I think Zenden scored.
Who's on the left? Freddie or?
Perez.
No, I go Pires.
Sorry, sorry, on the right.
I
Sorry,
think Pires.
who's the other side?
Or the only other option, I wouldn't mind Alexis.
Glenn
though.
Helder.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
Alexis. There was a year where I know Hazard really got a lot of the plaudits, but I think he was the best player in the league.
I think Prime Sanchez is better than Prime
Sanchez
Hazard.
is
isn't
amazing.
he?
You
yeah.
could
For me,
possibly get away with. That's a big shout. That. You could possibly get away with Van Persie on the left as well.
No, he played there when he was really young. Really young.
Possibly.
So there, and then over the other side.
On the right hand side.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I have to be honest, man. I think Saka's ahead of Ljungberg.
That was my
Wow.
one. When I said one
I
at the
know
beginning.
Freddie's done the trophies, but
And the big goals.
I
and-
just think he's elite.
yeah.
He's different. Again, he's got elite physical attributes. He's got a real understanding of that role now, and like, he's a first name. on
Is
the
there anyone?
England team sheet,
Just
barring
can I
Harry
just bring
Kane.
someone
I
up
got
here?
Perez on Ljungberg.
Can I just bring someone up over the other side? Paul Merson.
Yeah, he's quite similar to like Trossard.
Merson was a better player than Trossard, though, wasn't he?
Miles better.
He's a little version of Paul Gascoigne to me, and that feels bad saying it.
But that's but being the little version of Paul Gascoigne or being the little
it's
version of
special.
Zinedine
It's
Zidane is a
special.
compliment.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
Lidl's
compliment.
It's Tesco value
No,
versus Lidl.
Lidl
isn't it?
is
It's not
class.
Lidl.
No.
Tesco value.
I've got a lot
No,
of
but-
love for Merson,
but
but
mate-
you know, again, less love because he's a Chelsea fan for
Yeah.
a start. And
But he was an amazing
He
player.
represents
No, he was.
himself as
He
an
was
Arsenal.
amazing player for
as
you.
a kid,
He's an
one
amazing.
of
The
my
chips, Paul
most
Merson's
fond
chips.
memories is rolling up socks in the living room and
Volleying them.
Yeah, and pretending
Volleying them.
because he went on these outrageous dribbling
Yeah.
sessions.
He was an amazing player, Paul Merson.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
brilliant.
Underrated.
Sensational for England as well.
It is an exciting shout.
Yeah.
It is, but
Anders Limpar.
great.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
Great player. This is so. I love
Turned
this.
into a
It's
half
interesting,
decent
yeah.
bookmaker apparently.
Is
as
he
well.
really?
Yeah.
Is he?
Bookmaker in Sweden.
Okay.
We've got two up top, which
Two
I
up
think
top
pit
easy.
themselves.
Yeah, that's easy. That's why I said we have to do it this way because otherwise we were going to have a real problem.
Yeah, you have to leave Bergkamp out
Oh,
for three, don't you?
yeah. So it's Bergkamp and Henry, and there's nothing to say, right?
Yeah.
Is there anyone you want to bring up here, Hugh, even just for an honourable
Van Persie
mention?
deserves a mention,
Um,
doesn't he? But obviously he
yeah.
wouldn't get in Arsenal.
Yeah, Ian Wright.
Ian Wright.
Ian
Wright,
Wright deserves
obviously.
a mention for sure.
Ian Wright. Do you know?
Christopher Ray.
Do you know we forget how good because Thierry Henry was sensational and Dennis Bergkamp
He
is.
stole his thunder.
He
He
didn't
really did.
because you remember when he did the Cliff Baston record,
Yeah,
the shirt,
yeah,
with a
yeah.
Nike shirt, just done it.
Just done it.
He didn't get the record for long enough.
Yeah.
Henry broke it too quick.
Yeah.
He
I
should.
think,
Didn't Henry do the same thing
I
with
reckon
this
that
shirt?
probably
Mate,
hurt.
it
man.
went Baston to Henry, which is decades, and then it went. It went Baston
Right
to
to
Wright,
Ian Wright.
which is decades.
It was like Rooney and Charlton and Kane.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
weren't the record holder for that long.
Yeah.
So you won't
Yeah,
really
but you haven't had
remember.
time to.
There'll be a
They
quiz
statue or
question.
nothing yet.
In 50 years,
Yeah,
it'll be a
yeah.
quiz question. And people are like, who was
yeah.
it?
Who was the England
Between-
record holder for 103 days?
Great
Yeah.
Arsenal side. That is a great art. Does
It's a
it beat?
great
Does it beat the Centurions? That Arsenal side we've just made.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a best team of an era. It's not the best team.
Centurions, 100%.
With
man.
Guardiola.
We batter that team.
With Guardiola
What?
versus Wenger.
That team we just
It's
named.
also peak Wenger.
That
That team we've just named
batters-
doesn't ever. That team we just named doesn't lose a game.
Nice question.
No, the team there isn't a football. That team that we've just named would beat the Barcelona team of.
No way.
It would.
No.
The team that we've just named would beat anybody.
The Man City thing was a bit facetious. I get that.
The team
Prime
that we've just
Barcelona's
named,
best club side of
the
all
team
time.
that we've just named is the best
They
team
wouldn't-
of
they
the
wouldn't
Arsenal
touch the ball.
era. We're not talking about a team
No, I
that
know, I know,
existed.
I know.
We're talking about the best
But
team
we
of an
talked- you-
era.
You just said Lorraine at right back. Do you know what I mean? I mean Tony
We've
Adams
also,
and
we've also said
Piqué.
Bergkamp. We've also said Bergkamp, Henry, Patrick Vieira. Like we've said.
Fabregas.
Yeah.
Xavi, Iniesta, Messi. David Villa.
No, I agree with Buvey here, but
I don't.
it's a great team, though. It's a great team.
I think that team that we've just named, which is the best Arsenal team
wouldn't touch
of
the
the
ball
Premier League
It's
era.
a great conversation, that, because
that's why
those
I
are
rate
two of
this
the best teams ever, for sure. We know that. Who wins today with the style of football today? Because it would be that game.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the throwback. We've got to remember like the open style that we've been able to capitalise because we have more sort of physical players or explosive players.
Yeah.
It's much more controlled now.
Mate, I think the modern day defender, like the more modern day centre half, they wouldn't know what to do with Dennis Bergkamp.
They wouldn't have the
They
ball.
wouldn't know what to do with Thierry Henry. They wouldn't know, they don't ever have to face that quality.
I was
Those
thinking about
strikers
this
don't
watching
exist anymore.
Berbatov the other day.
They don't
though.
exist.
Like,
Those strikers aren't around.
You know, like Bergkamp, Berbatov's the kind of players that don't do loads of running and all that kind of stuff. How do you think they're handled by managers nowadays? Like that kind of I don't think they're allowed to be themselves.
Like Dennis Bergkamp.
In this era now.
No, they're not. But Dennis Bergkamp as a striker, or Thierry Henry as a striker, is head and shoulders above any striker playing football at the moment by 10.
Yeah.
By 10.
Literally,
there isn't a footballer kicking a football at the moment
Yeah.
that is alive.
But why did we say Mbappe then? Because we backed Mbappe over Thierry Henry on.
No.
No
Don't
one
do
said that. He said potentially he could. I don't agree with that. But
I
he said
didn't.
potentially
Yeah,
he
I
could
did.
be better than Henry
Yeah.
because of what he's achieved so far.
Yeah, he's on course to. Is he better than Bergkamp? No, bro.
but-
to be better than Dennis Bergkamp,
You don't
right,
exist.
It doesn't exist
Doesn't
anymore,
exist.
especially in this day and age with like
The
technology.
closest we've got, this is what I'm saying about normalising mediocrity. And I was being very aggressive with what I said. But you know,
What,
when you
with
talk about Kai,
yeah,
you talk about Kai Havertz.
no, it's a little,
And you're just
it's
like,
little.
hang on a minute. You're the man that used to, in your lifetime, you've witnessed it,
Yeah.
which is why this is normal. Do you know what I mean?
No, it is. But again, in this day and age, the game has changed so much that I understand most players are probably not ever going to be technically as good unless they're from countries
Yeah.
where they don't have access to technology that can take their kids away from the game.
Yeah.
It's just a simple
That's the
fact
spot.
that
Yeah,
if
yeah.
Bergkamp plays for 100 hours a week against a wall and understands the physics
Yeah,
of the ball,
yeah.
he will be better
Yeah,
than
agreed.
the player who is training X amount of times a week and you're barely playing games.
I agree.
Mm.
It's the same when you see a Matt Letizia compilation.
They're different.
The way that Matt Letizia, I know he's become a little bit of a
No, it's one of my
joke.
favourite players ever.
But the goal,
Yeah.
do you know? I saw it today. He actually tweeted something about a goal compilation of his. It is mental.
Yeah, his goals were all stunners.
It's actually mental. His goal scoring record, the way that he used to hit the back of the net. There was one where he's like in the same game. I think it was at Ewood Park. He scores like two of the best goals that
You'll
they
ever
would
see.
both be the goal of the season this year.
Yeah. Dribbling around four
Yeah,
players and
and
banging
he
it from
wasn't as
30
good as
yards.
Bergkamp.
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
was,
for sure.
And he was better than after strikers. You
He
know?
probably had better long range shooting.
Yes, yeah.
He struck the ball.
Struck the ball
in a
better than
mad way.
Yeah, he struck. Yeah, but lazy as well. It looked so lazy, but it would
Yeah.
rocket. But he
Actually,
wasn't.
that's what I like about Kai and Ozil. They look a little bit languid. They look a little bit like they're not fully connected, but they are just operating on a different frequency.
Yeah, it's
the wavelength
also-
is different.
Yeah, I kind of get it I get it when you talk about Ozil. I
I
don't think it works at
I don't
Arsenal,
know.
really.
I like Berbatov, man, for me.
No, Berbatov,
Berbatov-
He was so
Unreal
good.
as
I was
well.
watching
Unreal.
remember the Spurs West Ham 4-3?
when he pirouettes.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just, oh, man.
Yeah, when he pirouettes.
He's
Was that
just
last?
so
Was that
good.
Lasagna Gate? Was that the 4-3? No, that was
the one where
before.
Tevez played. Scored a
the
free
one?
kick.
Is that the Berber spin assist? Is that what you mean?
No,
No,
no.
that was against West Ham for Man United. I'm on about
Oh,
when he
okay.
played for Spurs.
Okay.
In a 4-3 game when
Yeah,
Gareth
yeah,
Bale, Paul
yeah, yeah,
Stalteri scored for
Yeah,
Tottenham.
Yeah.
Fuck, do I know that?
He was so
He's a
good.
special player.
Paul
man.
Stalteri.
So just,
Yeah.
just some of the goals they scored, the touches, just
Yeah.
taking. Juan Mata did it at Old Trafford. Have you seen that clip of him where the ball goes madly high in the air and it comes to Juan Mata all the way down? He watches it and he just deads the ball.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
so
He's
good.
the same.
And Juan
he's
Mata
exactly
kind of
the
got
same,
coached
man.
out of
Yeah.
the game.
He was
Like,
so unfortunate, Mata.
There was no number 10.
You know,
like,
Mata, when we
role
won
for-
the Champions League, Mata was our player of the year. The following season, we won the Europa League.
He was player of the year again.
He's our player of the year again. Mourinho comes in. Mourinho didn't really fancy him. Mata, sadly, leaves. Goes to Man United. Mourinho follows it. Oh, Ozil, stop.
Beautiful. Just broke his
Odegaard,
ankles.
Stop that. Stop that.
Amrabat's ankles just got broken, and
Oh.
Arsenal. Oof.
Cheers, Booth.
This could be two. Ah.
Diogo Dalot's done well there to follow the action. Good turn by Number 5. I'm gonna
I
call
see
it.
Berbatov upload a video recently where he's controlling the ball, just booting it.
Oh yeah,
controlling
yeah, and just killing it every time.
Unbelievable.
There was one where they did like, you know, those machines that fire it at you like 100
yeah,
miles per
yeah.
hour and that. Just barefoot, just. Oh man,
Dead, yeah.
so good. He just knows if I hit it with this part of my foot, this ball dies. And yeah, like we talking about Bergkamp, he was one of them.
Yeah, it seems simple thing to talk about, but just understanding the ball physics, man. Yeah, it's like I can tell you that Jackson doesn't get this yet. He doesn't get it. If he did,
Never will.
Yeah, we're dominating though. Come on, we're living in your final third again.
Yeah, you are.
Corner.
I was watching. There was something a minute about 2-3 minutes ago. Kobe Mano was doing really well up the side. He gave the Amrabat gets the ball, goes for a pass, and he's like 5 yards ahead of him. It's just like I just feel sorry for Kobe Mano so much. We got a super chat. I've seen one of them's a poem, innit? Oh yeah, this was funny. BCTN says, "Wow, Hugh is here. I can't believe my eyes. I feel like I've just walked in on my divorced parents going to Pound Town."
Wow, relax.
Good way. Apparently, that's a good way. And then the other one was a poem, wasn't it?
A poem.
Yeah,
we get it every
Thomas
week.
Hernandez sends poems in for Buvey every week. So here we go. Buvey is a sailor, bold and keen, with a love for the ocean, wild and serene. But it wasn't just sailing that made his heart gleam. No, Buvey had a fondness for seamen, it seems.
He does this every week, man.
That's special.
This is his money.
That's really special.
It's not my money, it's his money.
Yeah,
And now a bit of it is my money.
where was your seaman?
Yeah, you don't have to read it out twice.
Seaman played for City as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Man City legend. Retired at City.
Stop it.
Yeah, Man City legend, man.
Saliba there.
So what? This is part of the problem, isn't it? It's part of the problem. It's uncomfortable viewing, looking back at how many people just decided to ditch the loyalty and just
I think some of them
joined the revolution.
Doesn't feel that.
No,
does it?
City was offered him a contract when he was
wasn't
old. He was 40 and he was just offered a contract. It's one of those.
Vieira fits that. Clichy fits that. Adebayor fits that. Sanya fits that. We've
Seaman
got a
was
few.
pre-taken.
Is it a little bit
few.
different when they leave? Like Vieira went to Inter and then
Nasri.
went, like, does that
no,
take a little bit of the edge off?
No, because now Vieira's owned by City.
Yeah, he isn't.
He's a City
Group.
man.
Yeah,
He's been managing New York City FC. He's owned by them, man.
because when he was
His
talk about
loyalty's
him
probably
potentially becoming like he was talked about as being the replacement
Yeah.
for Pep. In the
He did well
future.
for Palace as well
Yeah.
for a large part of the time there.
Yeah, I was rooting for him while he was at Palace.
Yeah,
Do you
same
think he
here,
comes
man.
back? Like, there's a lot of managers like great, like Vieira's, Lampard's, Gerrard. Do you think they come back? Do you think you see Vieira in a proper job again?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
100%. 100%.
I think he showed more than
These guys are all
Lampard
still
and
young.
Gerrard.
I think they're all still young.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
plenty.
He's in
100%.
charge of Strasbourg. Shows how much I know.
And they're connected to Chelsea, aren't they? I think they're in part of the Chelsea network.
Yes, he's
Chelsea
doesn't
and
know
Man
where, he
City.
doesn't know where he's going.
But it's it's hard not to run into a club that's owned by Chelsea or City though at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard, man.
It's actually crazy. How many are on the books for the City group? Is it 15?
Girona
About
are
15
in
clubs,
the
yeah.
like
15
Clubs in
second La
Asia,
Liga.
Australia,
So
France.
will they be?
Like New York City, Melbourne.
Will they be
City.
allowed in the
Girona had
Champions
to
League?
apply for a license for the Champions League next season. So if they face us in the Champions League, I think they're allowed to now. But they had to apply
Similar
to
with
UEFA.
United and Nice, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to have that issue because we're missing out on Europe completely.
Well, you've got
Yeah,
the Red Bull.
yeah.
You got the Red Bull situation. So I guess they've got some sort of precedent.
Yeah, but then
for
one
that.
of them isn't called Red Bull, is it? It's kind of like they pretend they're not owned by Red Bull.
Oh, is that how they've got around
It's
it?
one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there? Well, Salzburg and Leipzig are.
I think it's the
Red Bull.
one in Germany to pretend they're not Red Bull.
I think they're called Red Bull Leipzig, aren't they?
No,
Maybe-
we
maybe I'm
call
wrong.
them that, but
Oh, right.
it's like I'm sure it's not. it don't
Oh, they're
stand
just
for
trying to
Red
market
Bull. They have
themselves
to,
as Leipzig now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, mate. Okay.
yeah, it's nonsense, really. It's nonsense, to be honest.
What's nonsense?
Apparently the
owning
RB in
15
Leipzig-
clubs and thinking it's not going to ruin the integrity of the sport. It's just madness.
How has it ruined the integrity of the sport so far?
What multi-club models?
Building up football in different countries.
Oh, there, but oh
No,
no,
stop it. Stop it. That's
No,
not.
it's
No,
bad.
I'm asking. I'm just asking an honest question. How has it ruined the integrity of football so far?
I can give you an example,
I mean,
a hypothetical one. Let's pretend that Chelsea and Strasbourg, like I hate this multi-club model, right? Chelsea have it. Let's pretend, imagine this, right? Chelsea and Strasbourg are both in European competitions, but different. Oh my God, oh, it's terrible. So Chelsea and Strasbourg, Chelsea are in the Champions League, Strasbourg are in the Europa League. Strasbourg go through, they're doing quite well. In January, Chelsea are out of Europe and having a nightmare. It makes sense, surely, for Chelsea to go, who's Chelsea's best player? Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Cole, you're going on loan to Strasbourg, by the way, mate, because they're going to win the Champions League. And
Your hypothetical's fair, yeah, but City have had this model for over 10 years now, and
You did
you
it with
can't give me one with City.
Lampard.
What, taking Lampard from New York City FC when he wanted game time and it was a contract at the end of his career? It was a nice contract. He relished the opportunity.
You're able to buy players and ship them out.
How's that relevant to the competition? We weren't playing New York City in any competition.
How is it when you can buy players?
But Roy's just given an example where Strasbourg and Chelsea are playing each other in Europe.
No, not playing
How is New York...
Not playing each other,
Or
like playing in
a
separate
European
competition. Chelsea's season goes to pot. Strasbourg could win the league.
MLS
we give them all our players.
Isn't it? I think taking Lampard from a club connected.
No, but the point is, you didn't get Lampard. We didn't give Man City Lampard. Lampard ended up at Man City.
Yeah, from New York City FC, which is its own club under an umbrella.
Owned by City.
Yeah, he's gone to City. He's just.
This isn't like back in
How
the
is
day
that
where
an
like there
ethical
were feeder
issue? It's not an
clubs and
ethical
stuff
issue
like
at
that,
all.
where we have an agreement, we'll send people on loan there. This is like you can manipulate the transfer market this way.
How is Lampard
You can buy
manipulating the
players.
transfer market? I'm not
and
trying
keep
to be
them-
facetious. Like,
I'm not talking about Lampard.
If it's taking someone like in their
If you
prime
can't
from a
see it, I
European
think you're
rival,
purposely avoiding
but
the
Lampard at the end of
obvious
his
issue.
career. How?
Well, no, I'm not talking about Lampard.
So
I'm saying Lampard.
give me one then.
Like
that
just any like
affects
there's
the ethics of
players
football.
that are at Girona that are linked with City.
Who?
Like you can get them for cheap now. It's
I think Lampard is a good
Give me one.
example as
bro,
well.
just because I don't you know these.
Salvio.
That's his name. Yeah, that's.
He
his
plays for.
He's been linked
He
heavily.
doesn't play for Man City.
No, but he's been linked heavily with City.
But he's
and
owned
they're
by
in
Man
the club.
City.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
He's fucking.
Well, what?
The fact
What?
that you're
City have signed him.
No, look,
So there's that.
it's rubbish. It's rubbish. You're making up arguments for no reason.
We're not
It is.
making
It
it
is.
up.
You are. All three of you are, man. It is. It's the difference between look, City investing in
This is
football
the-
clubs.
this is my
Do we
problem with
believe
City
that
fans.
football should be able to
You don't
invest in
just
Australian
accept
football
what
clubs,
is
Japanese
obvious.
football club, French football club that's struggling? We can have the debate if there should be no investment in football or a club
But I'm
that
not
comes in
making
and
this
gets
about
investment.
City because my club are doing it and I hate it. Like
Yeah.
I'm just making it about Chelsea and Strasbourg having these
narrative of the City
multi-club
group is a lot more
models. It's
positive.
multi-club models. It's. I'm not calling it bent, but it's on the way. It's on the road to that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it lends itself very
Until I
easily to
see it,
being
I-
bent.
what
Yeah.
can I
You can
say
get
as a City
around
fan?
permit issues. You can get around like signing players that haven't got work permits. You can now send them there for a year because now they've got their work permits, and now you can play them. And there's all sorts of things. If your FFP isn't in a position where you can sign a player, you can go, all right, we'll let Girona sign him, and now they're going to loan him to us in 6 months.
It also
So
has.
now we're not paying his wages. We're not paying his transfer.
I'm not trying to be
fee.
stubborn.
Really,
So
we
I
are.
understand there could be ethical issues. I understand that clearly. But you've given me Frank Lampard at the end of his career.
I
But,
know.
8
But
you
years ago.
say at the end of his
8
career, he
years
nearly
ago.
won you the league.
I'm not blaming him for being old. He was old.
No,
at the end
but
of his
it doesn't
career.
matter how old he was. He nearly won you the league. No, it doesn't matter how old he was. He contributed to your season. He could have won you the league. Why? He could have won you the
You've
league.
not been able to give me a player in their prime that have affected Man City in a
Savio.
sporting way in the last
We
10
did.
years.
We literally
just
No,
did.
he's not played for Man City ever.
will.
What are you on about?
How do we
sign-
know that market value is not being affected by the ownership? It surely is.
Someone in the
Anything
comments has said, doesn't Barca have Barca B, but City have Man City under 23s? That's just a different argument, isn't it?
Multi-club models, they're
What?
not.
What?
They're not fair. You must.
Someone trying to compare Barcelona B to
No,
having...
it doesn't
I don't know
matter.
what that- I don't know what that
matter.
is.
Why? Yeah. It's like I'm the whole thing. It just reeks. Having one owner owning multiple football teams.
I
across-
can't understand how you
So
can't
you-
see
I
how
can't
that
understand
could.
it
I
either.
don't understand how you can't see that could be a
I
problem.
did say that, didn't I?
Oh my
I
God.
said
Be
there
a
could be
problem.
deep ethical issues that I've not currently seen at Man City in the
Like
last 10 years. You
competition-
gave me Frank Lampard one.
But you know how you keep dismissing Frank Lampard and calling him old? He nearly won you the league.
You know I don't mean it like that. in
No,
the
I
sense-
know, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how old he was. His signing for Man City
context
came
of
very
the
close to winning you the league that year. He scored
No, we
massive
weren't
goals.
close to winning the
league.
He
Also
came.
now-
If you had won, I remember going to. I literally remember I had an experience traveling to Tottenham on New Year's Day. They beat us 5-3. And on the way to the game, Lampard had scored for you again. And everyone on
He
the
had a
train to
great
Tottenham,
spell.
everyone on the train to Tottenham was like, he's starting to get on my tits now. He's doing it,
He had
and
a
he's going to
great
cost
spell.
us the
He had a
league.
really, really good goal scoring spell for
I
City.
think Lampard.
I'm bringing up his
going-
age because it's
Let's
the
say
idea that he was at
Strasbourg
the end of
have
his...
a player, yeah, and Man United, Man City, Liverpool, everyone wants this player from Strasbourg. And Chelsea going, well, actually, you're not going Strasbourg. You're coming to us. And the price is going to be a lot cheaper.
Well, you're not coming to us, but you're definitely not going to Man United.
Yeah,
either.
so then now now these teams are impacting the transfer market, impacting transfer fees, impacting everything. How can you not see that
When?
these are potential?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, fine. I'll be stubborn about it until City have done it.
You just signed
You're
Savio.
asking me to blame City for something that's not happened yet at the club.
You don't refer to it.
What are you talking about then? You're asking me to blame City for something that doesn't happen.
How do we know?
You do it with
Savio
all the
didn't wanna-
FFP stuff. You do it with 115 charges.
Why? Because the elephant's in the motherfucking room, bro.
Okay.
Waving his trunk
what do you want
about.
me to do? What do you want me to do? Shit on the club for something that I've barely seen.
But it's okay for you to go.
Okay, if you don't like the Lampard, fine. I'll let you have Lampard, fine.
City fans are weird in the sense that I will go, fuck the Glazers, bruv. They're shit. I don't want them at Man United. They're useless. But I can still love Man United. I still want Man United to do well. City fans, and it's not just you, it's all of them, seem to have this weird thing where they can't criticise the owners or what the owners have done to the club because then they feel like it affects their support or something. You can do both.
Not about that.
You can support City and go, you know what? The owners are fucking ruining football, or the owners
If
shouldn't
I
be
thought it was a
involved
fair
in these
debate, I'd
deals,
have the fair
or
debate. It doesn't feel like a fair debate. So.
Or the owners have put 115 charges on the clubs, which, if found guilty of, our club could be
grim.
ruined.
That's grim.
City fans don't seem
That's
to
grim.
even acknowledge
I've said that. I've said
Your
that
club
since we've
could end
ever
up
worked together. I've said it's
in
grim.
non-league or somewhere like that.
Can you let me at least interject with the fact that I think that's absolutely grim?
But every time
that
we
it
make an
could
argument,
be,
you
So you won't accept the fact that I've accepted your point in the argument. Why wouldn't you accept that? Because I've said it's grim that the football club's even associated to 115 charges. It's grim. No football club wants that at their club. Of course not.
So then I don't
understand why building up.
Like, we're making relevant points about whoever this player, Savio or whoever, or like other transfer fees. Rory even made the point about Chelsea and Strasbourg. I even played the point about Man United and Nice potentially. It's not just City, but because it alludes to City, you just don't like it. It makes you feel uncomfortable. And that's because I think deep down City fans know without all of that,
You can't comment on deep down what I feel about anything deep down, because you don't know anything about what's going on. Ultimately, the club builds up other clubs in different countries. And I think that is a positive for football from what I've seen. A lot of the clubs are they're very, very well run clubs.
Why
and they built up football in different countries.
But the fans of these clubs aren't happy.
Not all the fans. The fans in Australia are very happy. In Japan, they're happy. New York City FC fans are very happy. They're building brand new stadiums.
Troy in France.
So what about the three I've just given you that I know that are happy?
But what about that one?
But also, when you say you know they're happy,
you only want to talk about.
When you say you know they're happy, what do you know about Sydney FC? Really? Like, I don't know anything about Troy, but I've just been told that they're protesting.
So you've been told?
I know for a fact that Strasbourg have Bowley out banners every week.
I've worked with Man City. I've worked with executives and spoken. Like, obviously, I don't travel to Japan and watch the Japanese Man City Football Club. There's a lot of positive stories that come out of the City group. If you
I'm sure they come out of the City group positive stories. Of course they do.
Okay, well, but the negative one that's just been given to you from the producer.
That's not been put out by the City group, though, has it? It's been given to me by the producer. Okay. It's not been put out by the City.
What do you want me to say?
Just
all negative.
I don't want you saying
there's nothing wrong with you going.
It's like, is the integrity of the sport being put at risk by multiple clubs being owned?
No one's blaming you, Buvey.
No, but look, I'm not blindly just defending the club. But at the moment, I see a lot of positivity with how clubs from footballing backgrounds, like Australia doesn't have the best league in the world. New York City, from such a beautiful city that it is, hasn't got great representation with football clubs. New York City is a great.
Sorry to interject here. I've just thought of one. Aaron Moy, talk to me. Do you know the deal?
Yeah, he's part of the City group.
He's part of the City group.
Yeah, never played for Man City.
Right. How much do they pay for him?
Oh, I don't know.
A few million.
Yeah.
And apparently that is the value of the club, essentially. However, in making the move, they've saved themselves a pretty penny. Where did he move to initially?
Huddersfield's one of the clubs, I think, in England. He's talking about.
Huddersfield, okay. I think he played at Celtic as well.
Yeah.
They've made themselves or saved themselves a pretty penny there, and plenty of people in Australia feel like that club has been robbed.
Okay,
that's an example.
Yeah, fine, yeah. I don't know the example. I can't comment. I'm not going to comment on the examples.
I mean, maybe someone in the comments can give us the exact details.
No, you're about moving from Melbourne City to Man City.
Yeah,
and then
so we paid too much for him.
I'm not sure.
It's an example of how if a player at a club that you do own is special enough, there are ways of you getting that player at a cut price. That is not market value. That is an advantage. That is bringing the game into distribution.
So do you think an owner of a football club should only own one football club, period?
100%.
Fine. Yeah. I hope in the debate it doesn't just look like I'm blindly following the club. I'm just, from my example, there are a lot of good things that have come out, clubs that have been built up out of nowhere. New York City is a great example. New York City and some of the players that have come out and had access to European moves because of New York City's progress.
City paid 750k for Aaron Moy and sold him for 6 million a year later. Come on, man. What on earth, bro?
If we're going to criticise the whole City group with billions spent on 6 million quid for Aaron Moy,
3 million.
it feels like,
No,
does it
but
not?
those
worth
figures
3
are
million,
the way clubs get around FFP issues and all those kind of things. So you can say it's only 6 million and they worth billions, but only 6 million makes a huge difference when you're
FFP,
when you're making signings and stuff. And that's another way around it. Melbourne City are owned by City. City go, oh, you got a good player there. We'll take him for a couple of $100,000. But realistically, we know he's worth 6-7 million. That means we'll make that profit, and now our club isn't having those FFP issues. That's an issue.
And that we can talk about like we don't know what's really happened, but we do know what they're suspected of. And
Yeah,
And do you know the other way that it could be very? You know how we've seen like certain clubs have injury crises, like major injury issues. There's not a lot you can do about that in certain circumstances.
Oh my
If
God,
if you have a multi-club thing, like say Chelsea ended up in a situation, if there was imagine if Saliba was playing for Strasbourg, he's just suddenly playing for Chelsea, isn't he? If we needed him to be.
stay with it.
Amrabat's having a bad one. He's even just slapped the ball out and got away with it, which is about the only thing he's getting away with today.
Still only 1-0 though. That's the
United
interesting
don't
thing.
look like threatening him.
Now, while it's 1-0,
Yeah, there's always hope because all it takes is
Yeah.
one mistake, one set piece, one moment
and
of
it's
brilliance.
look,
This could be it. Anthony, moment of brilliance.
Here we go.
Has he got it? Ping it. Ping it. Where are you going?
He's pinged it, and it's a P roller.
It's
We'll
not
take
quite
that.
a pinger.
This guy is useless.
Kind
I've
of
never
over half
disliked.
him a
I'm
bit.
not going to say hate. I don't know him.
What's
I've never
happened-
disliked a player more than I do dislike Anthony. And we've had Harry Maguire.
It's a shame because Super 6 now, you know, we had two people that were potentially going to win £250,000. It's looking very unlikely. We needed.
Or they need 3-0.
We needed a
Arsenal 3-0 is still very, very,
Very
possible.
possible, actually.
Yeah, it's still
Arsenal, Arsenal
very.
3-0 is possible. I agree.
Casemiro taking one for the
Yeah.
team, getting sent off
Yeah.
3-0 or something like that.
What's happened with Anthony's personal
Don't know.
matters? Are we
He just disappeared. But
Oh,
I wish he would
great.
disappear.
okay?
He's got a tattoo of himself, hasn't he? Celebrating his PSV.
Has he
Yeah, on
actually?
his
Yeah,
back.
when he's like that.
What, he's actually got his
Of
own
himself.
face? Is
Yeah.
it his face? Or,
It's his
or
whole
like
body.
the back
Whole
of his
body.
shirt?
No, it's
whole-
the
it's his
side
whole
body.
body.
It's the side profile is like that.
Oh, really?
Side
like that.
profile.
That's a new level of arrogance, isn't it? A tattoo of your own face
It's not
on
new.
your
It's
own
Richarlison,
body.
but it
Richarlison.
seems to be a very
It's
Brazilian.
wild.
Sane's got one.
It's a wild tattoo.
What, a tattoo of himself?
Yeah, yeah.
Who's
that's just his
responsible?
head,
He's
I
got like
think.
3 people in
He's
it.
got Neymar, R9, and himself.
Stop it. Stop it.
joking.
You should see
Oh
my
my
tattoo.
God.
I've got Fergie, Samat, and me.
You are
One of the worst I've ever seen. I think the only tattoo I've ever seen that is actually worse is what's his name? Ben Affleck. Is it Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck is with J-Lo.
Yeah.
What's he got?
He's got some
got mad.
outrageously large dragon on his back.
Oh,
and it's
really?
all coloured in.
Cheryl Tweedy had
Cheryl
a...
Cole, yeah.
Cheryl
That's
Cole.
a
Flowers.
frightening one.
Cheryl Cole had
Frightening.
her arse done as a rose garden.
That is. Look at it.
Is that Richarlison's back?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't
Mount
be that.
Rushmore of footballers there with
Yeah.
Richarlison. Watford
I
legend.
think he got it fresh off the hype of the World Cup where he scored a few goals.
Scored
Didn't he?
2 brilliant goals in that
Bicycle
World
kick,
Cup,
right?
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored the 2 best goals of the World Cup, actually. God.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it takes
It's
some,
actually
some
a
front.
good
Some
tattoo though
front.
because it does look like. Well, I can't see the name.
What, you mean the artistry?
Yeah,
of
but
it?
it is a good tattoo.
I mean,
Like
it's-
Richarlison looks like Richarlison, and R9 looks like R9.
yeah, the artistry of it, I agree, is quite impressive. But it would look better as a mural on a wall if he earned it. You know, if he won
Yeah.
Brazil a World Cup or something,
Yeah, yeah,
scoring
yeah.
8 goals in a World Cup.
If he wins a World Cup, no one gives a shit about his tattoo.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Even then.
I don't know though. You can't put yourself in company like that.
I think it just
It's
becomes
the company that
it's-
he's.
Yeah, and the fact that he's gone so big with it means it's
He clearly.
He
believes
should have
it.
Fred and Joe
Yeah.
there more
Is it
than
just-
them two. Innit?
crazy delusion.
Joe.
He played for you boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Man City. Yeah.
Was that Melbourne City? And I forgot.
There's lovely skill
PSV
there.
Moscow.
Lovely feet, Garnacho. God. Oh, he's overdone.
But is that? Do you know what it is? He has loads of those moments, and then he'll have 3. Like, there's no one getting close enough to him when he is breaking those lines and stuff. We need an inside pass or something different. Big Willie coming on,
Big Willie
like
style.
Johnny Evans.
Thought he's injured.
Maybe,
He was-
maybe
this
he
is
can
his
do
first
15.
return.
Maybe he can
I'd
do
get rid of him, just give Steve McLaren a few games. That's what I'd do. I think that'd be a positive outcome for the FA Cup final as well.
God, that FA Cup final, man. Dear, dear.
The way City are playing as well. It's crazy. We look so good.
Mate,
I
Fulham-
do feel
Fulham
for him
performance.
with the injuries, right? But he doesn't inspire me with confidence.
Who, Kambala?
No, Ten Hag.
Ten Hag.
Who will you be supporting Spurs midweek if this stays like it is?
Supporting
Have
Spurs.
a cock on your chest.
Stop it. Silly supporting Spurs. I think
You kind of have to, though, right?
No, I don't at all. No,
You kind of do.
No,
in the
no,
way
no, I
that.
don't.
Do you know what they have to
I'm
do?
not supporting Spurs.
You have to.
Any
have to.
stage
You have
of
to.
my life.
You have to. You are a
No,
Tottenham
no,
fan.
no.
As soon as the referee blows the whistle here, if you've won the game, you're a Tottenham fan for at least 72 hours.
No, I think it's possible to want City to lose, but not Tottenham to win.
It's impossible. My
It's
friend.
not.
It's impossible.
Not this week.
It's literally impossible.
this week either.
That is the impossible task.
No, I don't have it in me, man.
Do you not?
Listen, stop messing up against Fulhams and West Hams and
But
Villas.
this is where you're at.
and then we
right?
wouldn't need to be supporting Tottenham at any stage of our lives.
But now,
Silly.
playing the cards that you are dealt, my friend, you're going to be in
Do
the
you
shelf
remember how you
side.
felt in
I will
99?
take a draw.
You're
I
gonna
will
be-
take a draw.
Do you remember
I
how
will
you
take
felt
a
in
draw.
99?
Do I remember?
You
What,
were
when
relying on Spurs. that day.
Tottenham went to Old Trafford
Yeah.
final
Do I
day of the season.
remember?
Les Ferdinand scored for them.
In honestly, no, I don't. I don't remember how.
Because I can
feel,
remember how I
no.
felt that week and that day. Like I remember that, but so I was just intrigued. Like,
I don't-
because you needed Spurs to win then, and they went 1-0 up.
I think.
Yes, and we got a draw.
Yeah, Les Ferdinand.
Ferdinand,
No, they
then-
won.
then United won.
United won and won the league. Andy
for a-
Cole scored
For a
chip.
short while, Les Ferdinand had you winning the league.
Mm.
No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Honestly.
Although, do you know what? I wish. Do you know, on some level, more as like a social experiment. I'd kind of like to go to the game because Tottenham will be.
It will be
Tottenham
interesting to see
fans
what
will be
they like,
fascinating.
yeah.
They'll be doing the Poznan. Tottenham fans will be doing the Poznan when City score.
Will
the whole
they be
ground,
doing that?
It must be the weirdest
But that's
situation.
like saying
the whole
United
ground
fans-
will be supporting Man City.
But United fans would have half wanted Arsenal to win today, right? Because it means City have less, don't win.
No,
the
but
league.
they're a rival of yours as well. Think about it. It wasn't that long ago that you both had point stocks because of a game where you went, yo! Like, the Arsenal, it's not the same. It's not the same. The rivalry between Arsenal and Manchester United is way more severe than the rivalry between Tottenham and...
What did you make of the fact that Tottenham's final home game is the one against City?
I know, they packed up already.
But I found
they've done a lap of honour
in my
already.
head, I went,
It's because they know they won that
that's
one.
because their kids can be out at this game, and probably a lot of them have got school on Thursday, so they can't come on Wednesday.
It's not that.
In my head,
It's
I
not
went with
that.
the real
It's
practical
It's because they've got to
reason.
win.
Like, you know,
Because you look a mug doing a lap of honour when you've been beat.
Yeah.
And they know they're getting beat. Their season's over.
I thought it was like, well, I'm not going to bring my
Fulham
kids
flying
out on a
flags
Wednesday
in
night.
training.
Right, I know.
I'm thinking.
Did you see that?
Arteta's going, no, actually,
they're all
these
doing
could be the ones that are going to help
What
us.
are they called?
I mean,
the red
what?
kites.
They're literally
flying the
on
red
holiday.
kites.
What was that about?
Fulham in
At training.
training,
They're out
they're
front.
literally all playing kites.
Oh shit!
Right,
So it's,
yeah,
just,
mad.
it's like when the school teacher gets the videos out. It's just it's over.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everyone knows.
Yeah, Fulham had a massive game against Man City. Arsenal fans are imploring them to get something out of the game. And then the pictures come out of training and they're all like flying kites.
And
on the beach. They're on the beach.
In all honesty, that was probably the most likely, I reckon, position for
Fulham.
City to slip. Yeah, yeah.
Do you not think that
Fulham's
there's
a weird one.
Do
isn't
you,
it?
Yeah.
do you
Our
not
record
just
there is
think that
amazing.
there's something Tottenham about... Do you,
Martinelli in the
Martinelli's
box.
in, he's going to... Greedy.
Great save.
Good
like,
save.
Do you not think that there's just something so Tottenham in their fibres that they could hand Arsenal the league? Don't you think they're the kind of club that could do that?
Yeah.
They have it in them, don't they?
Yeah.
They will do something stupid, like take
I,
points
be
off
a-
it
it'll be a
I
song
think you're
for
right.
years as well.
I actually think it would be very Tottenham to win the game.
to win the game. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
It would be so stupid of them.
Haven't they won like the last 3 against
Surely,
City
though,
have never scored a
in their
goal there.
stadium.
surely though,
in the league?
In their
You
stadium.
come together and you say, "Look, lads,
Do the right thing.
yeah, just."
Also,
look,
I think
We're taking today off.
Postecoglou's just got to put out the right team. Yeah, like he doesn't need to
Yeah,
do. There needs
yeah.
to be no.
Ollie
There needs
Skip.
to be.
Yeah.
All he needs
Like,
to
don't
do.
even do
exactly.
a team talk that day.
No.
No, you win. You win.
No
games
training.
over by
No
getting this
training.
wrong.
You're all off. No
yeah.
training.
How you go,
See
lad?
you Wednesday. Meet me at 7:00 at the ground.
yeah. We're getting the bus in at 7:30.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's losing a little bit of favour with the fans,
Postecoglou.
and by losing,
But
he could win it back.
He'll get exactly.
Isn't that
Exactly.
bizarre?
Is it? Yeah. Yeah.
You get smashed 5-0.
No, you've done the right
If you
thing.
get smashed 5-0, we're back.
Look at the pace. Look at the pace.
Flav sent me a text, and I went, Flav, people are because I've been saying all week that they want to lose the game, they'll be doing the Poznan, and some Tottenham fans are going, no, we always want to win. It's in our DNA to always go for the victory. And I went, Flav, what do you reckon? He went, I hope we get beat 10-0.
Yeah, that's what Tottenham fan.
Oh, he snuck in there for Man United.
Garnacho
Benjamin
did really well there
Whitus.
because Erdegaard went
Hey,
to
this could be a long
wipe
10
him
minutes
out.
for
Garnacho's
Arsenal.
good, man. Garnacho's
He's fantastic.
good, isn't he?
Is Saka doing the limp again?
This geezer's always injured, man. Get him out
Because he's
of
the
it.
most fouled player out.
Get him out.
He's clattered by
Why was he
three men
limping
every
against
time
Bayern
he
Munich
touches
when he
the
put in a
ball.
stinker? What about the stinkers against Bayern Munich?
God, that corner.
Stinkers.
He scored against
Stinker,
Bayern.
4 out of 10 performances. I
Scored
call
against
stinkers.
Are you watching?
Huh?
Hang on.
He scored against Bayern.
The second game
Oh,
when they got knocked out of the Champions
Let's
League.
rate
Gabriel
like every time.
Go for Gabriel.
scored an elite goal.
No, I'm talking about second game.
What?
Second game.
Oh,
The
slap
brakes
that
on.
by
Martinelli on
He
the
done this
break.
at Stamford Bridge once. That's good defending. Oh, that's a terrible touch. Story. That's the story of his life, isn't it? Good defending, terrible touch.
He's in again, though.
He's rapid, isn't he?
I genuinely thought I was going to
He's
see
got
another
that
comment.
Tevez tenacity.
Not in
Yeah.
the corner already.
No,
wow.
he's doing it. He's doing it.
10 minutes to
Sensible, man.
go.
That's sensible, man.
That's a no. That's
He's
a,
early.
sensible,
ad.
man.
he's won a corner. In
Oh.
fairness, he's won a corner. Dallo a bit
That
dumb
did
there.
feel a bit mad, though.
Yeah, it's too early. I think
Yeah,
that.
10
If he's on
minutes
his
to
own,
go.
and I don't mind that. Could you kill 45 seconds a minute?
Yeah, if he had no support.
He had no
definitely.
Yeah, I
support.
suppose. I think just
I
a bit
thought he-
unambitious.
it
Because
looked like he was in.
Yeah,
with
a
no
bit
support,
unambitious.
if he just with no support, he just runs towards goal, tries to get shut up.
But
he gives the ball back.
But
to us
he's
more
the man who
Oh.
can beat a man.
Okay, what is it?
Like he's not Scott. You know Scott McTominay. You go to the corner, mate. You know your limits.
Mm.
It's an important lesson in life.
Good thing for you like here is
Oh, this is a great player.
you don't need Saka to beat Everton.
Yeah, he's
No.
looking
10
at
minutes
that.
left.
No.
Yeah, like
Yeah. And you got Gabriel Jesus on the bench.
so you should be
Laughing.
okay.
It's all about
Laughing.
Spurs.
This is a
It's all
big
about
sub.
Spurs.
You see that little embrace they just did there? Reminding Jesus that you're needed, yeah? Don't forget, we need you now.
You've got the same amount of goals as City's left back this season. He was a
Now,
centre
stop
back
it,
who's
stop it. He's
21.
been injured 75% of the
What,
season. What are you
Gabriel
talking about? Come on.
He's got the same amount of goals in the league as Guardiola this
Yeah,
season.
but he's been injured most of the
Jeez.
season. Come on.
Is it down his Achilles or is it
4 is a low number, isn't it?
the deflection that he has?
I'm not sure.
That's
Matt
Kane
James.
and Saka have gone off injured this weekend.
Did Kane go off injured?
Mm.
Do you see him on the
England-
bench for
England
Bayern
in
Munich?
trouble?
He was just
Wait,
like,
What? When?
Kane and Saka.
England
Saka
are
is
in trouble because
almost
of what's on
crying.
the dugout.
Man.
That's what's on the pitch.
Oh, you're not Southgate. Where are you all at?
Get
One more
him
goal?
out.
One
I've
more goal
made
or
I've
get
made
him
a
out?
decision.
Get him out.
I've made
straight
a
away.
decision. I've made a decision. Everybody knows where I sit on him. I don't rate him. I don't think he's good enough. But I've drawn a line under that, and from this moment on, I'm only supportive
Wow.
because
Wow.
we have
Welcome
to.
aboard.
We have
Welcome
to.
aboard.
There's no point.
We've waited long and hard for you. I should stress, like,
There's no point.
he has given us some of the greatest moments of our life.
He's also robbed us of some actual great moments. But I'm not talking about that anymore.
Pessimistic way of looking at it.
Oh!
Oh
Was that a
my
save,
word!
Brian?
What a save!
good
Hugh,
save.
did you see a
That
play
should've
in the
been
West
two.
End called Dear England about the England team, Southgate? And great save, Anana. I mean,
think
he
that one
made a
was
bit of
more-
for the cameras, but
Yeah, it was more
I
straight.
didn't know. What is that?
it's a play in the West End in the theatre on Old Compton Street. It was called Dear England. It transferred from the National. It was just about Gareth Southgate and
Okay.
just
What,
his
he's-
time as England manager.
right,
It's a great
okay.
play. I thought you might have seen it. It was really good. It was very kind to Southgate.
Well, look.
But-
If we're doing judging football off more than the merits, you know,
Oh,
that we see, he's
focuses.
changed England,
Yeah, yeah.
man. He brought us together,
Yeah.
and I do get it.
It focuses
He's
on-
not the guy that
Mm.
we want to take us forward. We know that, but what he's done, I think, should be celebrated, man.
Yeah.
Can
We've
I
gone
just say,
far.
though?
We've gone far.
Hugh, if
But
he was
we're a
appointed
brilliant
as Man
team.
United
We've got to win it
manager,
now.
But we're a brilliant team.
It's last. This is it.
He's already gone one more. Like he said that it was Qatar. Like you know when he went into the job, this all comes out in the play.
Yeah,
he goes
yeah.
into the
He
job.
wasn't supposed to take this one.
No, and he puts it on a clock. And when he first goes into the job in what 2017, something like that, 16, goes in and he puts a clock on the wall, countdown, and he goes, the next tournament doesn't matter. Russia, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Then he goes, the one after that, the Euros, don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. The clock on the wall was the countdown to Qatar. That's where we're winning it. Obviously, he didn't, but he's having one more go.
It's a bit mad considering he got to the Euros final.
Mate, he went in there and he was like, don't worry, you know the next tournament, Russia, forget
That's how the
forget it.
That's how the Italy team talk went. Clock's still going, lad.
Yeah, don't worry about this one.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
yeah,
today.
yeah.
Clock's still going. Has anyone watched that England attack on Wembley?
It was the
I'd
most,
say it's the
load
most
of bollocks,
embarrassing
loads,
thing I've
load
ever
of run.
seen.
Mate,
Yeah,
people
Jay
hate-
from In-Betweeners on there getting gas because he jumped on a
Mate,
bus.
people hate football fans in this
I'll
country.
take my
People hate
I'll show my
football.
grandkids
It was the
that.
biggest
What?
load of nonsense I think I've
Fucking
ever
get a
seen.
life.
Someone has a little bump on of a thing in Leicester Square, and everyone's acting like it's some sort of like
Went to the
Yeah.
Battle of Somme.
yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. They think it's D-Day. Someone's had a little bump and gone.
I know we
yeah,
didn't win, but
lit a pyro
I stood
firework
on
off
a
his
bus
arse.
for a bit, and I
Yeah.
got loads of bottles chucked at me.
I just can't
Tell the
believe that they
grandkids about
commissioned that.
Get a
It's
grip.
just such hate for
Melt.
football fans. It's just so much antipathy.
And that's why
towards
we get
football.
treated like dicks though at games.
Yeah, I know. That's why we get
Can't
treated
even
like
get
that
a
abroad as
bottle
well.
top into a ground
Yeah.
because of pricks like that.
I know. It's ridiculous. I had it on for 20 minutes. I couldn't watch any.
Yeah,
more.
I couldn't. I
Yeah.
watched it all because I just thought this.
Anyone
is
that doesn't understand anything about football culture, particularly like fan culture, They'll think it's like my mum popped in when I had it on. My mum went, "Oh, terrible." She's looking at the. I was like, "No, it's terrible that this doc has been made, Mum." It's like
I think that the footage was all made for England winning the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what the Vox Pops were supposed to be about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is.
It's a ridiculous documentary. Offensive.
Yeah, it was bad. But no one else seen it here?
No, I've not seen that.
Don't watch
Don't
No, I
watch
don't want to.
You've done
The
your
FA made it.
No,
Who made it?
Netflix. I think.
Netflix,
Yeah.
Netflix, yeah.
Channel 4 maybe.
What's it called?
It's called Attack on Wembley. Of course it is. Attack
main
on Wembley.
office in Monaco.
Couple of geezers jib into a football stadium. Attack on Wembley. Disgusting the way they treat football fans.
You should have been sat the day we lost
You
that.
seen Nil by Mouth yet?
No, I need to.
Play an
I
act.
know. Sorry, mate.
Wait, what?
I'm watching
sacked
Baby
after
Reindeer.
Pens.
Yeah. We should have been sacked. Qatar was way too.
Not
Did
sacked.
you- so
but
wait,
like,
wait,
no.
hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Well,
What
I
would
have to
you have
leave.
said?
I have to leave in a polite way.
Based on what
Yeah.
though? What decision? Just
But
because you didn't win the
unmitigated
game.
failure with the
Unmitigated failure by getting to
with
the final
having the
and
biggest
losing on
advantage you
pens.
could possibly have in international football.
Failure with this team.
If you're
You got to remember who we are, man.
You got
Can I just ask you a
to beat
question?
Italy.
Yeah.
If he became Man United manager, how would you feel?
Who's
You'd
Southgate?
be rejoicing.
Oh,
exactly. He's championship. Hugh, mate. He's championship manager. They're managing the championship more advanced than him.
No. But if you look back now in the history of international football, he's much more.
He brought people together in
He's achieved
2018.
more than any other England manager.
Yeah, he
apart
got
from
to the
one.
final.
He's had a team. Look at the team he's had.
Yeah, we've had the
Think of
golden
team.
generation. He didn't win Sodom.
No, but it
either.
wasn't as good as this. That team still had Danny Mills or whatever, didn't it? Look at the players not getting in this England team. James Maddison doesn't get in the England team. Jared Bowen doesn't get in the England team. In 2012, Jared Bowen would have been the best player in the team.
No, you just said he's not even close to the level of Saka.
That's what I'm saying. That's how good we are. We've got players of the quality of Jared Bowen.
Jared
who
Bowen
won't even
started for
travel.
2012. England.
He would start for
Andy
20.
Carroll's starting.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, of course.
Michael
mate,
Carrick.
I'm about to the shocker today.
Does do you know where me and Southgate fell out of love? Wembley,
We
Italy.
fell out of
That
love
day.
in a
Because it was an Italian
place.
team. It was an Italian team that didn't qualify for either World Cup, either side of that Euros.
Yeah.
We played at home in a tournament against a very beatable Italian team,
Old.
and we had one shot on target in 120 minutes after 2 minutes. We didn't go for it. Mancini beat Southgate. That was the moment.
It was
where-
embarrassing.
Great manager, but if we'd had a great manager, we would have won, and we don't have a great manager.
Mancini-
But I'm not doing this anymore.
Mancini's
and-
at Saudi Arabia now.
Mancini and Vialli, Sampdoria's front two,
Yeah, beautiful,
reunite.
beautiful, man.
Getting
I've got
it
love.
done
I've got
where
nothing
they
but love.
failed at Wembley
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
It's his history. You
Yeah.
can't. Sometimes the narrative is strong. We'll be there, back again, because
When?
like you said, right now we should be winning the next tournament.
Agreed.
We're not even third or fourth.
If we
favourite.
don't win the next tournament,
England are top 3 favourites.
For
England.
me, they're not.
I think it's France, England, Germany.
Number
in
I'd
that
put
order.
Spain ahead of
better
them.
than Germany.
Do you remember when you? Do you remember?
No, not better than
Do you know
Germany.
Adam's got a
We're
really
much
clever.
better than
No
Germany.
way.
No, do you know what?
Come
Do
on.
you know what Adam's got?
Come
Adam's
on.
given a really good. We were talking about dark horses for the Euros. Adam's given us a great one.
Yeah, go on.
Tell
Germany.
us dark horse at home, Germans.
Yeah, 'cause they're
How
shit,
can that
innit?
be-
They got a better
I've got a
side.
great dark horse.
They'll be favourites because of
They're at home.
their.
Think of the Germans in the Leverkusen side. They could be treble invincibles. Bayern Munich got far in the Champions League.
Can't
They got
call it a
unbelievable side.
treble
Dortmund.
Europa League.
No, the
No,
Leverkusen
but I'd
side
treble.
is-
I'd treble. Not
a
the
lot of
treble. I'd
it's
treble.
not German.
A lot of them. Florian Wirtz is an example.
Well,
Got
got
Mats
one
Hummels.
player
Got
who comes
Kai
Tony
Havertz.
Cruz could win the Champions League.
Kai Havertz.
Manuel Neuer.
Kai
Tony Cruz.
Havertz.
They're better than us. They're fucking
Kai Havertz.
miles
They're not better than
better.
us. They're not
They
better than
are
us.
better than
If
us.
you did a
German.
combined 11, almost none of them.
They
If we
played
had
him at
a
left back
world-class
recently.
manager,
Philip Lahm's
we might be able to
turning
get
in
there.
his grave,
With
man.
our manager, nowhere
If you
near
did a
Germany.
combined 11, we're
You
better.
got Nagelsmann.
If you did a combined 11, we're so much better than that.
No, Mats Hummels will get in.
Ru- Rudiger-
Back Tony
Rudiger-
Cruz. Rudiger
gets in over, but no, I think
Rudiger's
John
been the best
Stones-
centre back.
Joshua Kimmich.
About.
I think no, some Germans get in, but it's definitely majority English.
We're going for a
Great
second.
pass
innit?
here.
Rice.
It's got to be. It's got to be. It hasn't-
Ericsson
That was a good save, actually.
accidentally did well there because
Yes, because he bottled it.
Yeah.
Because he bottled it. He got.
But
yeah.
he kind of touched the ball, so
Yeah,
the
he-
Arsenal player couldn't have a
Yeah.
clean shot.
Slightly cowardly from him though. Oh, great turn. See, this is where Gabriel Jesus is just brilliant.
Yeah, but it's not where he thinks he's best.
No,
Which
it's
is
not where
through
he-
the middle.
No, it's not where he
So
wants
that's what
to
I was
be.
saying earlier. Does he need to accept you're never going to be that
Or
guy
move,
through the
or
middle?
move.
bro?
Or, but you can be
I
that
think he
guy through
already
the middle
has.
for someone else, for someone not as good as Arsenal.
But but he wants to be at Champions League level at the least, right? He wants to be.
I see him
that
at
level.
Juve or Inter Milan.
Yeah, but
I see him there.
he could play at Champions League level for a club in that position.
Yeah, but he sees himself as a Premier League winning.
Is he a better? I know Ollie Watkins has had a brilliant season.
He's not better than Ollie Watkins as a all-round striker. I don't.
No,
think so.
I don't know.
Do you? Would you rather have Ollie Watkins
He's
in
a
your
much
squad or
better
Gabriel
natural.
Jesus?
He's a naturally gifted more naturally
Oh yeah, I
gifted
agree with
footballer,
that.
for
But
sure.
as a striker, that's why I qualify.
Watkins improved so much, man. He's so strong, so quick,
So good,
he's
isn't
so just
The Unai Emery effect.
selfless as well. It's not even just the goals.
He's left Tony behind, hasn't he? Do you remember when there was a
mate,
debate?
Tony's
He's
the-
left
yeah.
Tony behind.
Yeah.
You know, Tony hasn't scored for like 12 games or something.
Yeah, it's
I
not
feel
even
red
that.
card.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What's your mind
Yeah,
on?
yeah,
What are
yeah.
you focused
That's
on?
such
Because
a-
I can
that's
see
such an
Watkins and what he
obvious
wants
foul.
to do.
Yeah.
He
Ref not
wants to
giving
play for
that.
England.
Yeah.
You saying you want to play for England, but
Yeah.
the actions are saying something completely different.
Yeah.
The ref never gave that as a foul. No. Is he fucking stupid?
Oh, it's all right, man.
All these refs are so dumb,
You got
man.
the ball.
Bro, he just body checked him for no
Right.
reason, like off the ball. It was just such a blatant foul. It's what I hate.
Come
about
on,
these
Manchester United.
referees,
Just
man.
one
They're
chance,
fucking
United.
dog
Just
shit.
one chance.
These refs deserve the abuse they currently get.
Now the ref's been good today.
Yeah, I'd agree.
They haven't, man.
Very few decisions where I've thought, oh, what's
Of
that?
all the games, this
Maybe
is
like
actually
one
one of the
or
best
two?
ones.
These
Which
refs
doesn't say much.
Bro, that's such an obvious foul. You can't. If
Turn,
you don't
turn,
give
turn.
that as a ref, you're a shit ref.
Doesn't matter. It's free kicks.
You got the ball there.
Yeah.
This is it though. 5 minutes.
This is it.
Don't score now. It's just pointless. Grab a draw. And
No, that's
make
brilliant.
City win the
That's a-
league.
Please,
Why would you even
please.
do that?
Oh.
What's the point in that? Oh yeah, we'll grab a point and now.
No, it's great to grab a point.
Fuck it.
If you'd rather City win the league.
Yeah, but United fans would want Spurs to do it as opposed to United bottling it, right?
Yeah. But overall, the end result is fine for us.
Oh,
For
another Chelsea acquisition.
hit me.
Talk to me about Jorginho. Surely you regret a little bit of silk.
No.
Oh, mate, great player. Great player. Great player.
You want Jorginho to not be in your first 11. Like
Oh, fuck off,
No,
man.
not a lot of the time, no.
Get him out.
like, you would rather sign another midfield. Like have Jorginho
Did you
as
see him against
Can't
City?
stand
against
McTominay.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt that he can have good performances. There's no doubt that he can contribute. But I don't think he can start for you.
He would have started his whole career at City.
I mean, you're bringing him on.
Yeah, we tried to sign him.
You're bringing him on.
Pep
with,
would have loved him.
Yeah, we tried to sign him with
that's
Pellegrini.
fine. Pep maybe would work better in a Pep system. I wasn't bothered
Are
when
we,
we let
are we
Jorginho
not
go.
B-Tech Pep? Are
Oh,
we
yeah,
not?
you are B-Tech.
No, we've got-
Yeah, but
no,
when
but-
Pep wanted him, it was
Are we
usually,
not-
mate, you're
Jorginho-
bringing him on with 2 minutes gone on the clock.
To control the game.
Yeah. Well, to control
Partey,
to
I
control
think
4
Partey
minutes.
should have been trusted earlier
To control 4 minutes of the
when he
game.
came back from injury.
I mean,
He was played more when Partey
Yeah.
was available as
Yeah.
well, Jorginho.
Also,
I think he's great.
you'll
man.
sign a midfielder to. I think Jorginho, he's just signed a new contract. He'll be at the club. But he won't even be the guy to come on. He'll be the one below that to play and feature because if Arsenal season goes as they want it to go, they'll play
Well,
60
that's a
games.
massive upgrade on El Neni, and that's how we're going to
Yeah.
win the league,
Yeah, yeah.
upgrading that squad.
Exactly. I agree. But,
Third in
but he'll
Ballon
never
d'Or,
be
man.
the.
You don't get
Oh,
that
you
high
can't.
unless you... No, you don't get that high unless you've got a full understanding of the game. I don't care what you say. man.
Martinelli is in because
Oh, he's
he's
actually
so
in?
fast.
Yeah.
Come on, United, do something.
Good play by
Shit club.
Casemiro.
Yeah, massively underrated player.
Overrated. He just finished third in Ballon d'Or. That's an overrated.
He's underrated, man.
He's not underrated. He got third in the Ballon d'Or. How
underrated.
can that be underrated? Oh, come on. It's never a corner, you little
Why are you
idiot.
trying to get a corner out of that, bro?
Slightly overrated.
Man.
I don't think he's slightly overrated.
Too much.
I
There's
think
too much
he's
on
been-
him,
It was
man.
I
that
think he's
goal at
played too
Everton, man.
much.
It was
Yeah.
that goal at
Yeah.
Everton. Because
Yeah.
even I
It's not
lit
just that,
up
though.
with that goal.
It's
I
not
was just
just
like,
that, though.
no, he scored one at
Scored some
Fulham.
great
But he's a good
goals.
player. He's a good player. But
I think he's playing too much.
That-
Kind of like
Yeah.
that goal at Goodison
yeah.
Park blew my mind. It's one of the best goals I've ever seen in my whole life. On the Trevor Sinclair Richter scale. On the Trevor Sinclair, yeah, but so was Rooney's against City, man. Some of the best ones are. So was
I don't understand why Arsenal-
Robin
Who-
Van
you-
Persie's
wait,
at
hold
the
on.
Valley.
Yeah, but okay, all right.
So was Robin Van
Do you know what-
Persie's at the Valley, sir.
Who's do you prefer? Rooney's
I
I
or Van
prefer
Aert?
Rooney's because
Rooney's
of the
better.
circumstance.
Garnacho's
Yeah,
was the better goal, but
Yeah.
Rooney's was the better moment.
Circumstance.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do it against City, it's bigger than doing it at Goodison Park.
Yeah,
But the best bicycle kick that has ever been scored in the history known to man,
it's Gabriel.
no.
Oh, Trevor Sinclair.
Trevor Sinclair.
Oh,
Off the
you
back of that
tripped
Danny
me.
Maddox. Off the back of that Danny Maddox cross, man, against Barnsley.
He's a guy that lived on them 101 great goals.
You know,
VHS.
on the Richter scale
That is a
of
great
bicycle
goal. It's a
kicks,
great goal.
that is the 9.9. Shocks the world.
I
Like
don't know,
nothing
but for the moment,
for the moment, Bale.
Nah,
yeah.
For the moment, Bale. Yeah.
Or actually, I take that back. I will go for Rivaldo.
Oh, when he took it on his chest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zatan's out
I
there
think
for
it's
me.
to score the hat trick.
Yeah, when he took it on the chest. Yeah. Yeah, it was ridiculous to even try that.
That might be the best.
Do you know what I think is? You know, when I judge a bicycle kick, and I'm very good at judging them, it's like my thing. I need to see the two pronged bam.
Okay, yeah.
I need what you
Yeah,
can't
otherwise
do.
it's an
You
overhead
can't
kick,
just
innit?
lean back and kick.
That's an overhead kick.
It needs to be two pronged.
Yeah, no.
Right, we're dealing with about
guys are
2 minutes
shit.
left.
They're crap.
And we're on.
Him on the worst
Ooh.
side in the league.
Very
Very
heavy
big Willie.
tackle there.
Seriously, that's a
I
great
know he
tackle.
took the ball, but he cut him in
Imagine he
half,
scored from
man.
this. Imagine he scored from
Made
this.
me feel better
Got a
about
dream,
myself.
Morris. Got a dream. Let's dream. Fuck you know.
Win a corner at least. Dickhead.
I think that's what he tried.
Dickhead.
I think that's what he
Well
tried
done,
to do is win the corner.
Job
Mate,
done. 3 points
mate,
in the
that
bag. Beautiful.
foul.
Come on.
That foul. I mean, I know it wasn't a foul. I know he took the ball, but he half went through the. You know, if you take a shortcut through the man to get the ball, it's not always fair, is it?
Pressure's on City now. Yeah.
It was interesting to see Arteta's. Arteta feels that way though. In his press conference, he was saying like, "We win the league. I still feel we're winning the league."
Yeah,
Pressure is on City. We've got
Shoving the
points in
pressure
bag.
over to City again.
They're in the bag.
yeah, you're top of the league.
Yep.
You're top of the
Top
league.
police. Fantastic.
It's all over to you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get your
can't
job
wait.
done. Don't
Can't
slip
wait.
up. Yeah.
Nah.
Don't slip up because we're
If
right
we can't
here.
beat Spurs, we don't deserve to win nothing. We're in the FA Cup
Correct,
final
correct.
because we beat Spurs
Correct.
on the way.
Yeah.
So if we can't beat them, fuck them.
Also, you're looking so good at the moment.
You can't beat him. Fuck him.
Oh no, if you can't, you know, you don't
Come
deserve
on.
to win anything in life. You can't beat Spurs.
Casemiro. Christian,
Yeah,
come
scoring.
on, for your old teammates. For your old
We're not
teammates.
Scoring. What?
Come on then, lads. Whip it in, lads.
It's literally
Lump it in, you
seconds.
idiot.
Do something.
Lump it in, you.
Keep-
He's crap.
You guys are shit.
See? I mean,
They're shit.
He's not done well, has he, Garnacho?
that's a good job. Well done.
He's the guy that all our moments have come through, but when he's got into those positions, he's wasted every single one of them.
I think that's why players like Kai are shining, right? He's good quality. We know he's good quality. There's probably more potential than we've seen, but you're putting him around like Odegaard, much better players. That kid's got way too much responsibility to be the man of making things happen. He's a child. Like Mainu.
Game's over.
I think he's super, super talented, but I'm worried about how fast people are trying to thrust him into the England starting 11. I'm sorry.
There we go. It's over. Arsenal are top of the league, and Eric Ten Hag has managed his last game at Old Trafford.
No, we got one on Wednesday.
Oh, have you? Okay, so
Yeah.
penultimate game for Eric Ten Hag at Old Trafford. Overall, Q, job done, eh? It was like basically
Job done.
Formulate.
And look, our childhood rivalry is over. We realise that now. Time has moved on.
That was over
We have
when
surpassed-
Wenger and Fergie became mates, though.
No, that was when it was over.
Remember
That was when it was
that
over
was
for
things-
you.
that
They
was-
didn't.
That was been right, when they became friends and Fergie was able to
that was
phone
when
up
you can
Wenger and
see
go,
things are changing.
I go,
yeah.
can I have Robbie Van Persie? And Wenger goes,
Yeah, things are changing.
But that's when Fergie didn't see Wenger as a threat anymore.
all right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When they became mates.
Whereas now, Arsenal don't see you as a threat anymore.
Yeah.
But I mean, it counts for nothing
come
if you
to
don't win
collect
anything.
points.
Counts
You
for
can't
nothing.
say you've cleared anyone if you don't win anything.
No, you can if you're consistently in the Champions League and your rivals come in 8th.
Consistently.
Consistently.
Oh, we're here again.
Consistently.
Two in a
Very
row.
This is
fluid.
Two in a row.
And he said, and your rivals keep coming 8th. I remember you back to back 8th.
You know, we're consistently in the Champions League.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Those Tuesday and
Consistently.
Wednesday nights. Listen, Thursdays
word,
for a
that.
few years
We
I've
ain't
been
going to be
busy.
in Thursdays, bro.
Oh, no, you're not even going to make it.
No,
Okay,
you will.
okay,
You're
okay.
going to be conference.
Nah.
You're in the
You're in the
conference.
conference
now.
league.
I think you
You're in
get
the
it
conference
because
We're
league.
tanking.
They're
We're
in the
nothing wrong with that.
conference
We're
position.
tanking.
Yeah.
In the
Like NBA.
Vanarama, the
We're
conference,
tanking.
UEFA Conference League.
Don't talk about Vanaramas. That
Yeah,
was your
Vanarama
at
Conference
one
League that
point.
you're going to be in.
The green
Billing
one.
That's where you'll be after your
Billing Quid spent-
115
You got
kicking. You know that,
manhandled by
innit?
Arsenal.
You'll be in the
Manhandled
St. Johnstone
for the first time in
Paint Trophy when
16
they
years.
kick in.
Manhandled, Billing Quid in that squad. Embarrassing.
Good to get the win at Old Trafford, Hugh,
Yeah.
in front of
2 in
fans.
17.
2 in 17.
No.
Yeah, and this is the first one in front of fans since 06.
I think I think this Arsenal side fantastic. They'll definitely maybe win it next season for me. 100%.
No, it's still on. Yeah, don't
Yeah?
slip.
Do you honestly
Well, you
believe
need to go
that,
big
Hugh?
on that when you got to beat
Don't
Spurs
what?
this
Do you,
week.
do you
It's Spurs.
honestly now believe you've just seen Arsenal win the game? They've done exactly what they needed to do. A very professional performance. Never really in doubt. Never really at threat. No injuries. No silly bookings. Job done. Professional. Can you do it, or will it be the 89?
No, we're going to get our job done, 100%.
You win every game
I
between
think
now.
we scrape a win against Everton. I have to admit that. I think it'll be a 1, maybe a 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you think they?
1-0, 2-1.
But Man City are now in a situation
It's up
where
to West Ham.
if Man City win,
David Moyes.
if Man,
Stand up.
The
With a
record's
real
so bad
David
there,
Moyes,
man.
stand up.
The record's so bad there.
It
for
is
them.
awful.
Real David Moyes has been standing up. That's why he's getting
Yeah.
sacked.
if Man City
they're on the
win,
beach.
if Man City win 3 games, the next 3 games, they win the double off the back of winning the treble. When you think about it like that, if you said, does the Guardiola team
Yeah, it's legacy.
win 3 games to win the double, you kind of go.
I'm
yeah,
telling you now, Arsenal win the league.
We're winning the league.
Arsenal winning the league.
Where are the points dropped?
You really think that?
Spurs-
Man,
so-
recognise.
Spurs are drawing.
Recognise
Spurs are drawing or beating City midweek.
Why do you think Tottenham will do that?
That would be
It's
the most
Tottenham.
thing to do. Yeah,
It's the
he's
history
right.
of Tottenham.
But they're also, okay, as much as I agree that club, it would be so within their capacity as a club.
The only thing I
Just
wasn't
looking
sure
at their
about was
team,
today,
their
if United
team is
get a
so-
draw or
mate,
something
they're
weird.
terrible. Did you see
But
Chelsea?
in the biggest
Terrible.
moments of this club's history, they get it wrong.
Yeah, they get it wrong.
Yeah.
And they're going to
Yeah,
get
they do
it
the
wrong by
thing.
getting it right.
Yeah.
Like accidentally win 1-0 in the last
Yeah.
minute. You know, something like that.
We got a shout
Get
out.
a
We're live
penalty.
for that game, so make sure you subscribe as well. It's a massive game. Obviously, they'll be covering that on Tuesday. So yeah, huge game.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. Hugh, it has been an absolute honour.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, man. Make sure you subscribe to Hugh Wizzy everywhere, and hopefully we'll be back very, very soon. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank
Joy.
you for joining us, Hugh.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Really,
Likewise.
really
Good
do
to see you all.
appreciate it. And
Been a
thank
long
you.
time.
Yeah, it's been far too long, Hugh. We are honoured to have you back. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. And thank you, of course, to Super 6. We really do appreciate their sponsorship throughout the whole season and their partnership. So please make sure that you download the Super 6 app. The link you will find in the description below. You will potentially be able to play football for us at the new Den against Pitchside. All you need to do is finish top of our mini league. The code is Club23. The link is in the description below. Make sure you download the app. It won't cost you a penny, and it could make you £250,000 simply by predicting 6 football scores correctly. Arsenal top of the league. Agonisingly true. In a bit.